Greetings and salutations, and welcome once more to Flintlocks and Fireballs, where a handful of mad actors will attempt to survive the, for once, perhaps relatively forgiving waters of Dungeons and Dragons. I am your host and Dungeon Master Jason Phelps, and I am joined, as ever, by Robbie, Bag of Holding Bellekom, Sam, Bag of Devouring Burns, and Ellie, Bag of Beans Sparrow.
Again, I get breakfast. I got breakfast
You're the
last
last one. You're the last
They're
one
magic
in the
beans.
alphabet.
Are they magic beans?
They're
I
actually
have
magic beans.
questions.
The bag of
I
beans.
want a bean.
Well, I'll quickly read the spell description because I've
What
got
would
it
happen
open.
if you ate one?
Bad things, if I remember
Would
correctly.
it be a beanstalk?
Well, the bag of
Oh,
the
dear.
bag of beans, has 3d4 dry beans. If
I
you,
want to see how many beans my bag has in it.
oh God,
2.
if you
Oh.
dump the
Wait,
contents,
Oh, is it 3d4? Sorry.
3d4, 3d4.
Okay, it has 8 beans in it.
Okay, if you carefully remove a bean from the bag and plant it, then an essentially random series of events happen. There is a 1% chance that it will produce a giant beanstalk, and also apparently a 9% chance that it will produce a giant friggin' pyramid for no reason. But if instead you hastily dump the beans onto the ground, they all violently explode.
So what you're
Happens in
saying?
the stomach.
So what you're saying is I would either become an 8-legged beanstalk spider, or I would explode
Basically, yes.
8 times.
Oh, that's
I think
terrifying.
that's worth the risk.
I think it is.
I think you should down all the beans immediately.
Definitely. We're talking as though I actually have this item.
This is
in
going
my
to be
hands.
very, very
Listeners, if that
interesting.
makes you happy to picture that, you totally can.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting if that ever comes up in the random treasure tables. Okay, so
I will just eat them.
speaking of treasures, it's that time again for a few words from Future Us. Hello listeners, it's Future Jason with a quick addendum here. The version of the naval combat system I wrote that is getting published with this episode, episode 9, is a much revised and streamlined version of the naval combat system that was first tried out in this episode. We've had a few weeks to iron out the kinks. One of the main problems with it was that there was far too much rolling for not enough difference in events. So we have fixed that, but in order to make the listening experience a bit more enjoyable, we have also taken the liberty of cutting out some of the extraneous hours. So rather than going through every single hour one by one, you'll notice that we start on hour 1 and then skip to hour 6, and then there's a skip after that. We kept all of the interesting stuff in, but we decided it would be best to cut the boring, repetitive bits out. Also, on the 8th of September, Sam will be in Boscastle performing Witch, a tense and intriguing exploration of persecution and folk magic beliefs, focusing on one witchcraft accusation in the early modern period. You can find out more details by checking out circleofspears.com and clicking through the link we will no doubt include in the description. Also, this week on Robbie Watch, Robbie is invisible, her location unknown and unknowable. Robbie's having the week off. If you want to find Robbie this week, good luck. We're telling you nothing. Anyway, we hope you enjoy. Happy listening. I don't know what the words will be, but I'd like to predict aardvark, antelope, and zygote.
Nitwit, blabber, oddment, and tweak.
Oh,
That sounds likely to me.
Yes.
we're not into the game yet, so I can't give you I can't give you inspiration for that.
Aww, that's a shame.
So, right, I think that's all we have to say. So, with that, it's time for Flintlocks and Fireballs. Our land stands on the sabre's edge.
Our cities are a powder keg.
Brother chains, brother, no one's free. A life on land is short, you'll see. So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.
Previously on Flintlocks and Fireball. After a good 2 days or more, the party finally managed to survive Slavitska's Isle. Making their way past a particularly malevolent corridor enchanted with a symbol of insanity, the party found an unlikely companion, a pair of unlikely companions, one of which was under strict orders to kill them. After freeing one new friend, and then slaying and later freeing a second, the party were able to wreak a degree of vengeance upon the Saragin who had attempted to sacrifice them and made off with their belongings. With the aid of an improved mending spell cast ritualistically by the disembodied head of Thurling Thimbleberry, the Kipper was restored to full ship shape, and the party were able to make their way back to the town of Bulwark's Bay. Arriving late in the evening of the 19th of Falling Leaves, the three of you pull back into dock. You pull back into the Smuggler's Cove, where Lucky Lucia is waiting for you. It's about time. I was starting to wonder if you'd lost my boat.
That was definitely nowhere near happening in the entire trip.
It's fine. We didn't nearly sink.
It's just that it appears to have acquired a new coat of paint.
Yeah, we wanted to make it more beautiful for you, and thanks for lending it to us.
A lot of the wear and tear on it seems to have gone, and I swear there's less rust than when I left it.
We had some free time, so...
Yeah, we gave it a good old clean.
We had to dip
shape.
into the reserves a little bit, the spares, in order to do so. But if you want to charge us for that, that's perfectly fine. But we figured that, seeing as it was such a kind and generous offer of you to lend us this, we should return it in better condition than we received it.
She thinks for a moment. I'd packed spares?
Thankfully, yes.
Oh, well.
Apparently you did.
I don't remember that. I must have done it while I was drunk, but well done, drunk me.
Drunk Hugh is a very, very good person.
Speaking of which, do you want to go get pissed?
Yes. Hugely.
Yeah.
For days.
Okay.
So very much.
Scamp, do you wish to re-equip your dwarf disguise during your trip back to town?
Oh god, have I been seen in it? Yes, I have. This is that town where we...
Oh shit, yeah, you have actually been
No,
seen.
no, I will,
yes.
I will.
We could put my cloak on you again. Hold your hands through the town so you can see in the too big cloak.
Which trails behind like a wedding dress.
Or you can borrow my bandana if you like. Cover your face up like a sort of, gangster type.
How would you get it over the
horns? Bigger
horns?
issue.
Oh yeah, no, you have a point.
Like, my face isn't the issue.
I've only got one bandana, so yeah, that's probably not going to do anything, is it? We could pretend you're a little old woman. No, you'd still be pink. Never mind.
A rather sunburnt old woman.
Yeah, I'm not even drunk yet.
With
I've got no
hooves.
excuse to be being this stupid.
Oh, let's chance it. Fuck it.
All right.
Am I going to have to do another distracting
I'm going to
off-replied
say,
solo?
Scamp, make a... sorry, are you doing it? Are you using the cloak, or are you just trusting to your stealth skills?
I'm going to try and be stealthy.
Okay, I'm going to ask you and Corzin to make stealth checks, please. Yeah, Lucia
I'm
will be
being
travelling
least stealthy.
with you. Celestia has the least to worry about.
Ooh. Oh dear.
Oh, okay. That's a 23.
Okay.
That's a 10.
All right. There is one as you make your way through the back of town, through the dark streets of Borwick's Bay. There is a point when a couple of guardsmen are walking in your direction, and one of them seems to notice you, but Lucia roughly shoves you into the alleyway and goes, looks up at the guardsman and winks. Fancy a bit of something special tonight? They go, no, thank you, Mum, and the pair of them walk on. You make it back successfully to, I believe it was the Stuck Pig. Okay, Lucia.
Yeah, there was a stuck pig in the mermaid's milk, wasn't there?
Yep, the Stuck Pig, the Mermaid's Milk, and the Wishing Fish. So, you head back to the Stuck Pig, where you're brought back to the. It's a fairly full night, and Theron, the bald, dark-skinned half-elf with golden eyes, nods as you arrive. Corzin, my tall friend. He looks you up and down, Celestia's. Kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like
Appraisingly. Yeah. So, will be another round of depth charges for you all?
Of course, another round of depth charges. On me!
Okay.
Celebrating that we're still alive.
Okay, it'll be because it's moderately strong spirits in standard beer. I'm going to call this 2 silvers.
And
Okay.
I'd also like a whiskey as well, please.
3 then.
Yeah.
And he pours you a whiskey too.
Cool.
I'm going to say this
Wasn't
is
a little bit put out that somehow he was spotted, even though he was being really sneaky.
Oh no, they didn't spot you, but you don't know that. So the 3 you settle down with Lucia, and actually there's also hat up, less visible and looking quite human today. Casimir, who has got his hat on, rings on his fingers, and playing with some cards.
Ooh.
Hello, my friends. It's good to see you. I trust your trip was profitable.
Yes, it was profitable. Actually, we got quite a few things.
Oh,
And we didn't die.
We didn't die. We're still here.
Always
That's
a
the main
good
thing.
sign. Well, I understand your ship will be making its way in a couple of days, so you have a bit of time on the town. I'm all out of work for you at the moment, but if you fancy, we could play some cards for tonight before we make our separate ways.
Let's play some cards.
Okay, so
I'm good for that.
do you know either Haystacks or Undermine? And I'm actually going to say
I really don't fucking know.
you would know them. Corzin, you know both of these. Basically, Undermine is a game. Both of them are card games. Undermine's a game that is based around. It's more of a bluffing game. It's about trying to hide. Your cards are hidden, and you're trying to either convince other players to fold rather than having to pay more and more stakes. And eventually, there's got to be a reveal. Haystacks is more of a strategic game. As it's a question of guessing, of trying to get the of getting the highest total at the end. So it depends which one you guys would prefer to play, more the bluffing game or more the strategy game.
Bluffing.
Yeah, bluffing.
So the
Really not.
okay, so so this is, I'll tell you how to play Undermine. So during the game, it's worth mentioning that cards below house cards win. So each of you draws a card from the deck one at a time. So you all draw one card and then you all draw another. At the same time, there is one hand of cards, the house, that's face up in the middle of the table. Each time you draw a card, you roll a d6. If you have more than the house total, and someone calls you and asks to see your cards, then you're out. If the person who calls your hand is wrong, and you have less than or the same as the house total, they're out instead.
So it's effectively like Liar's Dice.
Yeah,
with
basically.
Cards.
Once you get up to a full hand
Or
of
cheat,
five,
actually.
yeah. Once you
Like
get up to a full hand of 5, there's one last chance for players to raise the pot, because you can raise the pot after every draw, or fold, and then all the hands are shown. And the lowest card total of all of the hands wins, regardless of whether or not it was above the house.
Okay.
So you can win by getting to the end, and even if everyone's card was higher than the total, you still win. So, Casimir's going to start. All right, I'll start with. I'm feeling, if it's not too rich for your blood, I start with 25 silver.
Yeah, all right, I'll match that.
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone puts in 25
Definitely let the
silver.
child gamble.
Yes, we are.
drinking,
The
might as
child's
well.
drinking already. Interestingly,
The child is drinking and playing
interestingly,
poker.
as you drink your drink, Scamp, you realise that it's just like it's kind of like the taste is there, but you're not getting the buzz you normally do.
Oh my god, I'd forgotten.
Yep.
Excited.
I better drink more.
So the 5 of you are playing. Okay, so I'm going to ask each of you to roll a d6. I will also roll quietly roll d6s for Casimir. And,
do you want to not see what I'm rolling?
I'm just not going to look.
Okay.
So
cool.
keep a note of your total.
Okay. Is it like a conglomerate total?
Yeah, it's the conglomerate total.
So how many times do you want us to roll a d6?
I will ask you to each time. So just the
Okay.
first time this time. Okay. So the Casimir draws the house card. The first house card is 2.
Okay, and the objective is that we want to make out that it's higher than the house.
No, you want to make out that you've got less than or equal to the house.
Okay.
So right now with a house of 2, there's very good odds that most people have higher than the house.
Mm-hmm.
But depending, you can also raise the bet to indicate that you are confident that you have less than that.
Or equal to.
Yeah, or equal to the current total of 2.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to raise the bet. Anyone game?
Well,
Yeah, I'll see you.
You say how much you want to raise it by.
Okay, let's go up to 50 silver.
Okay.
Okay.
I would like you to roll either a deception or perception check. Deception or persuasion check without telling me which it is. And I'm going to roll an insight check for Casimir.
Can we insight her?
You can.
That is.
I think I shall do so.
Hang on, my maths is failing. That's a 16.
Yeah, 13.
Okay. She's pretty hard to read.
Ugh,
Casimir goes.
so mysterious. I say that out loud in character.
Casimir chuckles and says, "I am in." He pushes another 25 silver into the pot. Lucia nods, does the same. Okay, so if everyone's still in, the pot has now gone up to 50 times 5, so 250 silver. I'm going to ask you all to roll another d6, please. Okay, the house was a 1, so the total is now 3. Casimir looks at it. I too will raise the stakes. 75.
Very
If you
bold,
can't, if you
Casimir.
can't match it, you have to fold. Is the idea?
I can match it.
How many
Is
rounds
he
are
looking
they?
confident?
How many
Make
rounds do you do?
There are a total of 5 rounds.
Fuck it, I'm gonna stay in.
Okay, so you stay in. You can make an insight check.
Natural 20.
Oh bugger, that's rubbish from me.
He's
That's a 4.
hard. He's hard to read. He rolled a natural 20 as well.
No way.
It's a 22.
Very hard for me to read with my 4.
God damn him.
Okay.
So I need to
Yep, so the bet is now at 75. It's time for the third card. Roll your d6s. Oh, the house rolled a 6. The new total is 9.
Okay.
Okay. There's a bit of quiet, waiting to see whether anyone... Casimir and Lucia are looking to see whether anyone is offering to raise the stakes.
I'll raise.
I'll match.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Casimir and Lucia match. Are you putting up to 100?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay. Since it seems to be going in 25 increments. Puts up to 100, but Lucia says, alright, I'm calling it. Show me your cards. What's your total?
Definitely.
Sorry, it's to specifically to Celestia. I realise it.
My total is definitely 11, and I was hoping there'd be another round. So.
Okay. Lucia chuckles.
I say, yeah, I was hoping there'd be another one on top of that. I thought maybe I could pull it back.
Well, there's two more rounds in the game, but I'm glad you had more. So, still 4 of you left in the game, and then plus if there's anything else.
So what happens because she's
So
out?
she called you out. She doesn't need to show you her cards, but because you had more than the house total, you are out of the game. Your pot stays in the game.
Okay, cool. So I'm out.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so you're just out, and the story continues between the next 4 of you. So I'm going to ask you to draw another card.
That's alright. So she's drinking water and observing.
Yeah.
No, not water. She's definitely drinking whiskey.
Yeah.
I said that because I'm drinking water in real life, and my brain just looked at the water.
Okay.
Okay. The house rolled a 4, so the total is now 13.
Oh dear.
That's 4 now. Casimir kind of looks at the looks at you, the pair of you.
Scamp's fidgeting.
Okay.
Corzin is he is adopting a practiced poker face.
Ooh.
Okay, Casimir's going to try and read you. Can you make just a deception check to conceal your intentions, please?
Yep.
Can I try and read him too?
Yeah.
Yay. Oh, no, I can't. I got a 4 again.
Deception.
Yep.
Oh, that's a 9.
Okay. Casimir is staring at you intently. I'm going to phrase this as, do you feel confident about your chances of winning this game in the next round?
Not hugely.
Okay. Casimir sees this and goes, let's raise the stakes one more time. Pushes it. Another
Can I try and read
25.
Casimir?
You can.
Can I also join that?
I just want
You
a
can.
backseat driver from the corner.
I got a 1.
I got a 14.
Okay. Scamp, you can't really read much. Like Casimir is unreadable as ever. However, Celestia, you notice that Casimir's eyes are flicking down to his cards and just checking the house total a couple of times. But
Does he look worried?
He seems very concerned. He seems very not concerned, but very attentive to the current total versus his present total. He is, however, raising the stakes by another 25. So up to you guys whether you want. Actually, no, it's the last round. So he's going to say, I'm going to raise the stakes by 50. Last chance to fold.
How much is the total each now?
At the moment, it's 100. It will then become 150.
Okay.
I'm going to lean over to Scamp and go, he looks worried.
So do I.
Yeah, Tree, you're sweating a little bit. I wipe a bit of sweat off her forehead.
I'm in.
Yeah, okay.
You see, he goes, yeah, what the hell. Okay, last d6s, please. Okay, and the house rolled a 6. The final total is 19, but it doesn't. The final total is 19. So, after all 5 cards are drawn, there is one last chance for players to raise or fold. So, looking at where it is, I'm going to say Casimir is.
Corzin raises.
How much do you raise by?
Another 50.
To 200. Okay. Casimir's going to try and read you again. Can
I roll to read Corzin? I want to read Corzin.
I really want to know.
17 from me.
13.
I roll another deception.
Yep, another deception, please.
13.
I know.
What
it.
happens if we match?
Hard to read for you. It's slight advantage to the defender. So,
fair enough.
like, Corzin is hard to read. That said, Casimir got a natural 20.
I got 17.
Again, the question is, how confident do you feel about winning against the
A
current
lot
total?
more than I was previously.
Casimir is looking at what he's already put in. Lucia goes, nah, I fold.
Yeah,
So Lucia's
Corzin is
folded.
locking eyes with Casimir now, waiting to see who blinks first.
Okay. Casimir says, I will match.
Yeah, okay, I might as well too.
Okay. So an extra 150 is put into the pot.
My God, this is getting intense.
And, okay, so I'm going to start with Scamp. What's your total?
12.
Corzin, what's your total?
17.
Casimir.
Is this us like
everyone's
unfolding?
revealed.
Celestia would like to use minor illusion to make a drum roll sound.
Casimir unfolds his 15. He looks to you. Well done, Scamp.
I'm surprisingly deceptive and no one thought to look at me.
You little shit! I love that you did that.
Well, that was. That is me cleaned out for the night. Scamp, you take. So you take back, bearing in mind, reduce. You already bet 200 into this, so minus 200. You take away 650 silver pieces.
Nice. And the rest of us lose 200.
And you lose however much you bet in. So Celestia, you lose 100.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've taken it off already.
Yeah, because you've taken it off already. Lucia bowed out, so she lost 150, and you lose 200. And so does Casimir.
I'm going to smack the table next to Scamp and use prestidigitation to write "winner" on it in glowing letters.
Yeah.
Casimir.
Yes.
I can't help but notice you've just lost a lot of money. Don't fancy selling me some more opium, do you?
Come downstairs. I see what I can do for you.
You had a lot of that.
How much?
I don't listen to either of you.
This is actually a point, because it has been a long rest. Can I ask you to roll a Constitution save for me, please?
No, that's a D6. I'm rolling D6s because we're rolling them for
Yep.
the card game. Oh, that's an 8.
Okay, you still have the addiction counter at 1.
Yeah, I haven't had any since yesterday.
That's fine. Okay, so how much opium do you want to buy from him? He's offering the same rate as before, 2 gold as opposed to 5 gold. That would be legally.
Okay. How about 10? That's all right. Could I buy 10
Not a
pieces?
problem.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you for
20
mates
gold
rates
pieces.
as well. I appreciate it.
Passes it to you. Okay, so you have a few more drinks before you make your way back to the ship for the evening, assuming you're staying in your bunks there.
On the way there, I have to. Corzin would say, right now, we've just had a very lucrative venture here, and
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you don't mean the gambling.
I might have. I should have mentioned this on the way back, but before we get back to the ship, we've got to. I got to make you aware of this. what happened on Slavitska's Isle, keep to yourself, because our takings out of that, well, put it this way, it's, and Jason, correct me if I'm wrong with my maths here, it's like several times what an enlisted officer would be paid.
Yeah, you've basically made away with quite a lot of cash. Functionally,
we also
you need to
still
sell it,
have
but-
all the shit.
Yeah, so you got a backpack just loaded with swag, essentially.
Yeah.
Keep it close to you.
Okay.
Don't show it to anyone. Don't mention it. That sort of stuff breeds ill feeling, and we don't need that.
I'm very subtle. I don't know what you're worried about.
No, I had to say this because, you don't quite know the ways of the sea as yet, but you're getting there. But this is important because, the second anyone knows that you got that, you become a target.
No, good to know. Fair enough. I will be stumm, Corzin.
It's worth mentioning you also have the small powder keg in your backpack as well.
Oh shit, no, we do have that.
Because you took that with you.
I would very much advise you to put that in the ship's powder stores.
Yeah, I think that would probably be the best use for it. Will they notice an extra powder keg? Will they worry where it's come from?
Possibly, but it's much better than it accidentally going off anywhere else, frankly.
Yes, and I suppose, actually, if anything, they'd be grateful if we managed to grab this somewhere.
Yep.
They're not going to immediately assume that we've also made loads of money. That's not really how it works, is it? They're going to be like, oh, thank you for the extra powder keg.
In my experience, Captain Brandy's got a head enough on his shoulders not to ask too many questions about where things come from. Things are not so much requisitioned as obtained.
I mean, he works on a privateer ship. If he gets pressures about stealing, then there's something wrong with him.
You make an excellent point.
Literally his job.
The three of you make your way back to the ship. You settle in for the evening. You're still on leave, so you don't have to stand any watches. I'm going to say, when the morning comes, you head after finding a secure place to stash your loot, literally right next to where you're sleeping, so you can keep an eye on it. You wake up, and as you head down to the galley for breakfast, there is a familiar figure waiting for you. Dressed once again in his flamboyant red coat with black trousers and white shirt and feathered cap, is the diminutive but distinctive form of Fighty Gubbenswick. He looks up as you arrive. Well, that isn't my three favourite people.
You're one of our favourite people too. Thank you so much. I don't think we've said it, but that was pretty much the best distraction anyone could have ever made.
Thank you for posting my bail and for recommending this ship. I've paid for a very nice little cabin. Had to kick your fellow Vig out, but I believe he's been comfortably recompensed for his issues. He taps his waist and there's the jingle of coins.
Wow.
So I've paid for passage as far as Crosswater. After that, who knows? And actually, I should get something for you. You sit and have your porridge. I'm gonna grab you something. He steps up and walks off towards what you recognise as the way towards Uncle Vig's cabin. So apparently, if you're paying that much as a passenger, you get to kick the first mate out of his chambers.
I turn to the pair of them and go, Uncle Vig's gonna be pissed.
At this point,
reaching
sort of stretching over from one of the other tables is Seaman Saltz, who comes over and says, I wouldn't be too worried. V got a very nice 20 gold crown cutout out of the 120, that gnome paid for his passage.
I suppose for lack of bed, that's not bad.
Viega's happy to drink that up on his own.
Well, fair enough. I did wonder how much that the first mate's cabin would cost.
Well, the captain wasn't particularly keen on it to start with, but then that gnome started flushing his money around, and
he is pretty loaded by the looks of things.
Yeah.
He's a very famous tailor.
Yeah, I know some of the lads were having some thoughts about that, and then first night he was on here, he got pissed drunk and beat 3 of them to a bloody pulp, and then bought them all drinks. So
That does.
And
seem
now
to
they're
be his
friends?
Thing.
No, but we're all. But I think anyone who was planning to rob him is now too shit scared of him.
We had a fight when we were drunk, and now we're friends. I wondered if that was how it worked with him.
I don't know, maybe.
He's a gentleman brawler, is what I think we've discovered.
Speaking of which, where have the 3 of you been for the last 3 days?
Oh, we went gallivanting around.
Yeah.
Drunk.
Yeah, mostly drinking. Yeah.
Well, more
3-day
power to you.
pub crawl, you know.
Right.
There are only 3 pubs.
We had to lay low because the pious don't take kindly to me for some reason I couldn't possibly comment about.
And people don't like my face.
Pot Salt looks at you. Oh yeah, nothing to do with the improvements to the flag that showed up a few days ago, right
We
before you
wouldn't
disappeared.
know anything
I
about
couldn't
that.
possibly comment about that. I know absolutely nothing of the entire affair.
Oh,
She slaps you heartily on the back.
speaking of which, I have something to pick up from the blacksmiths. I'm going to do that.
That's all right. Oh, actually, there was a delivery for you. Fighty said he'd pick it up for you.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Right, I need to go stand my watch. So you enjoy your breakfast. She gives you a wink and heads up above deck. It's around this point that Fighty comes back with basically a small duffel bag
Okay.
and pops it onto the table. Okay, so I've got a few things for you. One of these is actually a delivery that arrived for you.
Oh, yes.
And he produces from his bag the midnight blue leather codpiece, studded with iron studs. There is a C done on it, and it's actually done in a slightly cursive C as well.
Ooh,
Cool.
and studs all around the edges
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Nice. I'm going to put it on.
Right. Yes. Before you do that, I've got a few thank yous for you. So,
Ooh.
for helping bust me out of jail,
Which we got you into.
that
We
especially.
definitely got you into jail.
I figured, there's nothing that says thanks like clothes, and I am a tailor.
I
So,
do love clothes.
this one is for you. Was it Celestia, right?
Celestia Stardust, my darling, yes.
Fantastic. Oh, I can see with the C.
C for Celestia, yeah.
I see. So he reaches out and he produces a pair. He apparently can size you by eye because these are actually
Amazing.
well proportioned for your size. A pair of thigh-high white leather boots,
Oh my god.
matching white gloves and leggings, with a hidden leather chest plate under a long silver tunic with long silver sleeves. Over the tunic, there is a knee-length purple coat with
God.
elbow-length sleeves, and there are long silver highlights running down its length. The silver tunic is hemmed with matching purple and includes a V-shaped purple neckline terminating in a downward arrow.
That's so incredible. It's like on those t-shirts that say "Get it here," and there's
Pretty
an arrow.
much, yeah.
That's what's happening.
That's what's happening.
Is it also slightly too low to be appropriate for anything ever?
Oh, it's cut to be like, that you could, depending on how you wear it, it will vary.
Oh,
But-
Celestia's going to wear it so low.
Oh yeah.
Kind of imagining something like Lady Gaga collided with Dr. Frankenfurter.
I'm going to be very blunt here, and I'm going to say this outfit is directly inspired by something that David Bowie's wife wore. There's an image of David Bowie and his wife doing something, and for once Bowie, I it's completely blanking on the name. She had a more impressive outfit than Bowie.
Wow.
So I copied that version of it.
Wow.
I need to Google this later. I'm so excited.
Check out the...
Someone, if we are at the point where we are getting fan art, like now, I have no idea if we are, because we are recording this so far ahead that episode 1 isn't even out, but like, if we are, please, someone.
It's
so
somewhere
good.
in the Vogue style guide for David Bowie.
Amazing.
Okay, so...
I love that you've looked through this, it's so good.
So, Corzin. It was Corzin, right? Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I got something for you as well. And I figured with what I've seen you wear, this might suit your taste.
Yeah.
It produces an open, sleeveless waistcoat, similar to the one you've already got, but it is cut from a rich, deep forest green cloth, and the shoulders and the hems are embroidered with a repeating wave pattern in bronze thread.
So pretty.
The waistcoat comes with a bronze-coloured cummerbund, some black trousers, and a brand new pair of black jack boots and a new tricorn.
Oh my
Fantastic.
god, this is so exciting.
And, didn't you have a dwarf travelling with you?
No. He's dead.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
That's terrible.
I mean,
I suppose I could give you the clothes I was intending for him. But, yeah. I suppose it would be better than ritualistically burning them, which is what I'd normally do.
Yeah.
I think Scamp would happily take the clothes.
Definitely.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean, Scamp
well.
is the exact same height and proportions as the dwarf.
That's actually very convenient, yeah. Oh, well, that's a good thing, because I sized this based on his proportions, so this should fit you just fine.
Yeah, luckily.
Yeah.
They're exactly the same
What's
size.
a coincidence?
So, I've gone for a traditional dwarven travelling outfit, but also blended with the traditional festival outfit style. So, he produces a long, floor-length black robe, cinched in at the waist with a belt and a matching cloak and hood. Now, both the robe and the cloak are hemmed with 6-inch thick repeating patterns, chunky dwarven knots in repeating bronze and silver thread. The belt is similarly like 6 inches thick. It's made of brown leather and it has brass and silver repeating knots, again in the dwarven knot style, and a very chunky brass buckle, again quite a dwarven style. It comes with with some black leather gloves, and the robe, you notice, is full of hidden pockets.
That's so fun.
I designed it to be stylish and practical, So as it seemed to me that that fellow, spirits rest his soul, and Regent rest his soul, and that would have seemed like a practical sort who did a lot of travelling, but would still appreciate style. I'm sure that you, young tiefling,
Scamp is exactly the same.
Yeah, I'm sure that you, young tiefling, will get a lot of use out of it for much the same reason. It's a shame. It's a shame because what would really complete this is a beard, and I cut it with that in mind. But it should be alright.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a fake one I can wear.
That's fantastic. If you just put that on, you'll look almost identical. Wait a minute.
Can I roll an insight check to see if he is bullshitting here?
Yes.
I'm getting the distinct impression he knows full well what is up.
Yeah, go for it.
That's a natural 20.
Apparently, Fighty has legitimately not twigged it until this moment.
Oh, that is just
Incredible.
beautiful.
Fighty, you are one of all of our favourite people, I say, in my fantastic new clothes.
Yeah, you just
Thank
get
you.
dressed there and then.
I mean, is this the effect that you were
Whoa,
going
I didn't
for?
need to see all of that.
That is pretty much exactly what I was going for.
Are you charging me for this? Or?
No, this is on the house. I'll charge you for any future outfits I design for
Oh
you.
god, I have so much in mind. We're
But,
going to have a
this
great
is-
time together.
This is
It's gonna be good.
thank you to the three of you for getting me out of the big house.
Well,
I was afraid I'd have to get out my usual way, and that would have caused too many questions.
what is
What was
your
that
usual
going to be?
way?
Punching through a wall?
Let's go with that, and yeah. Anyway, right. I am going to finish off my last couple of commissions before I leave this town, and probably get drunk and have some fights.
Yeah, have fun.
I will. And with that, he gets up and leaves. So, you've got 2 days to kill.
We need to sell some shit.
Yeah, what would you guys like to do over the next 2 days?
Buy more sweets!
Yes. How many sweets would you like to buy? I think I previously established that you can get like a massive bag for a gold crown up to this point.
Well, I appear to have £2 in my inventory, but I think I've probably eaten them.
Yeah.
Yes, you will have done.
So another £2 of sweets seems like a good...
Yep, you do. You get a whole 2 more massive bags of boiled sweets.
So we've got cotton and silk and saffron and all sorts of things. We've also got a glass priestess dagger and an ivory pearl eel statue. Do we want to sell all the normal stuff and maybe keep the last 2? Like, how do we feel?
Yeah, until we can find a way of finding out what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So should I say in those few days we sell all the stuff?
Yeah, I'm going to ask you for some investigation checks to find the best place to sell those.
Okay. Does someone want to help?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so should I make that
with advantage? Yeah, make it with advantage.
I can't believe I have the best investigation in this group. One of those was a natural 1, so it's good that you helped me. That was a 16.
Okay, so the best place, as it turns out, to sell the cloth is Fighty, who is actually looking to replenish his inventory and has quite a fair amount of money. I'm going to ask you for... Yeah, because we're abstracting this, I'm going to ask you for a persuasion check for haggling.
Okay.
Because there's more stuff we want to do this session, so I'm going to breeze past this. To a degree.
That's a 14.
Okay. So the bolts of cloth and silk you're selling. Fighty kind of looks over it. Tell you what, I'll give you 310 for the lot. Gold.
Is that for the cotton or the
So that's
spider
for
silk?
the cotton and the spider silk.
That's actually pretty good. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're worth 300, so 310 is like, yeah.
Okay.
So shall we say we split the 310?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
All right.
what, 100 and something each? 103?
103 and then one gold to whoever rock, paper, scissors for it, potentially.
Okay. Shall we roll for rock, paper, scissors? Because that's really funny.
Yep.
Everyone roll a d20.
Yeah.
Okay.
9.
Oh,
2.
that's pretty good. That is an 18.
Okay, after 9 rounds of rock, paper, scissors, there's a few ties, you eventually manage to win the gold piece.
Okay, I hide it, and then I go up to Scamp. And I go, Scamp, you've got something just there. I'm looking behind her ear. You've got something. Got something just there. You feel it?
No.
I go behind her ear, and I sleight of hand the
Sleight of
coin
hand
out.
check, please. This is verse... and perception from Scamp, please.
Oh, shit!
5.
That's a natural 1.
Scamp, you very obviously see her palm the gold piece behind your ear, but it's kind of adorable.
Look, you've got some ear gold. This came from you. It's now yours.
Oh. Okay.
Can I have another check for the spices, please? Investigation.
Again, I'm going to make it with advantage, assuming you guys are helping. So.
Yeah.
That's a 13.
Okay. You do find someone in town who wholesale deals in spices. You don't really have the time to divide this up and sell it piecemeal, but after a bit of bargaining, I'm going to say make another persuasion check for haggling, please.
Corzin might know where to sell spices because he's been here before.
Natural 20.
Okay. And actually, Corzin, having been here before and hearing the initial offer from this guy, you're like, no. We want to speak to this person. And you take them over to someone you've met, one of their competitors who you've actually dealt with before, and who has no particular love for the Harbour Master's tariffs. And is, given the recent embarrassment that he suffered, is all too happy to extend you a solid 400 gold for both the cinnamon and the saffron.
Ooh.
You're a man after my own heart.
Nice.
Was there anything else you were selling yet?
There's the glass priestess dagger and the ivory pearl eel statue, but I think we decided that maybe we're keeping those for now.
Should we see if there's someone who can tell us what they are? Like, is there a magic person you can?
I do have that potion
actually
as
might
well.
Be a case.
I have a clear potion as well.
That's
we
true.
go to a shop that does all of those things.
Make an investigation check.
Also, how are we dividing this gold? So 400. What is 400 divided by 3, guys? Help me.
133, 3.
Yeah, 133, and then rock paper scissors for
Yeah,
the last
let's
gold
do that.
piece.
Great.
15.
17.
Corzin?
3.
Once again, Celestia has is just the best rock paper scissors player.
I'm gonna go. Oh, Corzin, look, there's something behind your ear.
Okay, Corzin is going to make a dexterity check to try and grab it out of her hand.
Okay, make a sleight of handshake to oppose this.
It's a 9.
Natural 1.
Okay.
Yes!
Oh yeah, she
Hey!
actually manages. She kind of puts it behind your ear, and as you go to grab it, she manages to pull it out of your other ear.
You.
That's your ear gold, Corzin. That's what that is. You should definitely take it because your ears made it.
So
I snatch it out of her hand, going, yeah, you. And bites into it just out of spite.
You might have earwax on it. You want to be careful.
so you
I love being a bard so much. I can do the stupidest shit and it's fine.
Hashtag Bants.
Hashtag bard
Archbishop
bants.
of Banterbury.
Hashtag bard bant.
Oh,
Please make that a thing, listeners. That
Yeah.
would be
Please do.
amazing. Like, also sort of terrible, but I would love it.
right. One moment. So, what was your investigation check to find someone to identify?
Oh, I haven't done it
Yes.
yet. Hang on. I was too busy pulling coins out of people's ears.
So how much gold is that total
Oh.
for us all?
That is 133 each, but 134 for you because I pulled the last one out of your ear.
Right, okay.
Okay, so that is... and plus whatever we had before as well, but I guess maybe you've added that already, have you?
Yeah, I was in 133 plus the 103
Yeah,
that we
yeah,
had
that's
before.
right.
Right, okay.
But it's 134 for you, the second one, because I pulled it out of your
okay.
ear. So that's a natural 20 that I got for
Okay.
finding magic shops.
At first, you're absolutely despairing, and then on a whim, you decide to go to somewhere else. Just thinking, well, I guess I haven't really heard it. I've not really been around this town, and maybe I should check out somewhere near the crafts district. Go back, sweep by that way on the way to maybe asking around if there's like a library or something in this sort of place. Somewhere that might provide the sort of what I'm after. And as you make your way down one of the craft side streets, you find a couple of shops, one next to each other. One is a leatherworker's shop with an image of a big smiling ox with enormous horns.
Oh my god.
And next to the horns,
I nudge Corzin, like, look what shop it is.
next you
what do they sell in there?
Fishing equipment.
this
Tackle, specifically.
this shop is the only shop you've seen with black curtain. Oh well, apart from that one undertaker you passed, with black curtains over the windows for privacy.
I want to go in so badly, but we have a
Oh,
child
it's
with
that
us.
kind of shop.
Next to it, however, is a little sort of two-story terrace building with a with a sign over it of what appears to be a classical sort of crystal orb, but with what I guess, thinking in terms of classical education, like maybe only Celestia would clearly recognise as mathematical notations inside. And it says, and it reads, F stand, diviner.
Oh, cool. Would I know what that means?
You know that a diviner divination is one of the schools of magic specifically devoted to finding things out, seeing things from a distance, and analysing objects.
Oh, like identifying stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So this would actually be the perfect person to ask.
Lovely.
He can see the future.
I mean, can she see the future?
You don't know.
Okay. Cool.
But, yeah.
Okay, let's go in.
Okay. You enter the shop, and the little bell rings as you come in. And you can see that the bottom half of this shop is actually set up as quite a comfortable lounge, rather than there's not really a shop front or anything, because the person who operates here sells services rather than objects for the most part. But there are some comfortable chairs sat around. There is a small bar, you notice, with a steel grill over it, for someone to stand behind an adjoining door. And you hear a voice call from somewhere behind the grill. Wait a minute. Right. And a human man, probably in his 50s, kind of short, curly grey hair, and a scar across his chin, which is clean-shaven, comes up. He's dressed in not so much like the stereotypical robes of a mage of old, just in a comfortable waistcoat, pantaloons. You can't really see whether he's got culottes on, probably, and a shirt. And he looks at those. He looks at the three of you as you arrive. This is actually a question. Scamp, are you here, and how are you dressed?
I think I'm risking the hood and beard at the moment.
You are so well dressed that no one has actually connected the scruffy dwarf who who committed the crime with this clearly well-to-do dwarf. Up to this point. Thanks, the three. Hello.
Hello, Celestia Stardust. Nice to meet you. I got a hand out.
He doesn't reach for your hand through the metal grill.
Do a little stretch and make it into a dance.
But he gives you a nod.
So we
Farrell stand.
We have some things we want to get identified.
All right.
Possibly magical, we think.
All right. He points to a bit of the grill, which has a little hatch that can be lifted. If you want to place them there, let's take a look at what you have, and I'll tell you how much it'll cost you.
Okay, I guess ivory and pearl eel statue first.
What's that?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, we've got this. I pulled the dagger out, and also this. I pulled the potion out, the clear potion.
Mm-hmm. He lifts the hatch, takes the clear potion, and corks it. Yeah, I won't charge you anything for that. Puts it back. That's acid.
Oh. All right.
Not magical, but
Well, glad we didn't drink that.
right. As for the other two, my standard fee is 10 gold crowns per item. I'll take half now. The other half when I'm done. Skinnerd, are you in a rush?
Are we in a rush, like, in all seriousness?
No.
I don't think so.
Not hugely.
Oh, no, this is like the start of the 3 days
Yeah.
before we're leaving, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, no, not particularly.
Alright, if you want to take a seat there, this is going to take me about 20 minutes, because I'm going to do this the slow
I give him
way.
10 gold.
Alright, thank you. I charge more for the fast way. So, in the meantime, do you want anything to drink while you're waiting? Tea. I got a bit of coffee. Small beer.
I'll have a coffee if you're offering, please. Thank you.
Alright. You two? I've not got anything.
No, I'm alright, thank you.
It says to the dwarf.
I'm fine.
To the dwarf.
I'm fine.
It says to the dwarf. Well, I don't have anything strong enough for you anyway, I'm afraid. Goes
Nothing is these days.
He nods. Yeah, I hear you. I remember the end of my tour of service. At tour of service, things got so bad towards the back end of that. There was nothing would take that away. Frankly, after you've drunk enough for enough time, no, this doesn't seem enough, does it? Shakes his head and goes off and makes you some coffee.
Is he okay? I say to the other two.
Returns. Yeah.
I just meant I don't seem to be able to get drunk right now. I didn't. Oh dear.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not feeling it.
Oh, I mean,
I should drink lots and lots and see what happens.
I think that would be a very good idea.
That'll probably just mean you piss lots and lots.
Huh.
I assume that part of alcohol still comes into effect.
It's still liquid.
Oh yeah.
Also, it's still a diuretic, of course. Yeah. I mean, do you think you could drink more than a lot of people right now?
Definitely.
This could be a fun thing. Do you think
This
it's a
could
weird
be a
scam
potentially
thing?
lucrative thing.
It could be a very lucrative. We should play later with that and see how good this is.
Okay. He returns with the coffee. It's black. It's just straight black coffee. Passes it to you. Right. You
mentioned you did service. Might I ask with whom?
Bright Hall. 13 years war.
Ah.
No, that's. I trained by the Regent. How long ago is it? How long ago since I was at the academy? Oh, I trained back in the 70s. Stayed on for a tour. Got to the middle of the 13 years. Renewed my commission. Stayed on for another 7 years. Was glad when it was over, but took my pile I'd made in that time. Retired. Set this place up.
Nice.
Yeah.
See much action, did you?
Too much, all said and done, but I was mostly behind the lines. I'm a specialist diviner, so it was mostly the evokers, the transmuters, the necromancers. They were the ones up on the front. My job was intelligence. I scouted enemy movements from afar, did what I can to analyse any captured equipment, that sort of thing.
Scryer?
They used me a lot on spotting spies and traitors too.
Huh.
Wow.
No, wasn't the cleanest of work, but what can I say?
War very rarely is.
No, but I thank the Regent I wasn't on the front that much.
Very lucky. Do you did you say that you scry?
Yeah, it's not something I do often, and it is expensive, but it is a service I offer.
How expensive?
Give me a moment. Actually, have you got the player's handbook down there?
Yes.
Yeah,
Hang
I'll
on.
just ask you to pass that to me, please.
I've hidden the player's handbook.
Yes.
Sorry.
Alright, well, let me do these rituals for you, and then I'll check my price list.
Thank you.
Okay. So he takes the little statuette first, and you can see through the grill he has a workspace set up in the next room, including a wide table. He goes and he takes. They can see there's like a pigeonhole rack with long rolls of canvas inside. He removes one of them, unrolls it over the table, and it is just this elaborate arcane circle that's been pre-drawn. Places the statuette in the middle and starts carefully taking little objects and items, placing them around the circle and making small adjustments, actually with a piece of chalk, to the circle as he goes. So one moment, I'm just going to check scrying for you whilst he's doing that.
Thank you.
Scamp, as you watch, you can see that he's doing something similar to what he did with the to what Thurling, actually, Thimbleberry did with mending the ship. This is a ritual. So rather than a quick version of the spell, he's taking his time to slowly cast it, drawing upon external energies. And as you watch it, you can see that there's actually bits of this that make sense to you in a weird way. Like, again, it's entirely instinctual, but there's parts of the ritual where you watch and you think, I can see how I could make that happen if I did this. And yeah, it's hard to say exactly how, but studying it, you can see that there's some bits that are strangely, make sense. He takes 10 minutes, well actually 11 minutes, to finish casting the first identification ritual. The circle flares with blue light at the end of it, briefly highlighting the statue, which seems to play with a complex pattern of lights, and he sort of studies the lights for a minute until they fade. Picks the statue up, returns it to the hatch. Well, this appears to have once been the idol of a spirit, likely connected with healing in some way. It's left an impression on it, which is nice. I don't suppose you... No, I can't read the inscription on the bottom. There's another spell I can cast to do that, but so that would cost extra. But it seems to me that if you read that inscription through in its entirety, I guess if you were really fast you could rattle it off in about 6 seconds or so, then it will heal whoever's holding it. Takes a while to build its energies back up. Probably only get about 1 use out of it per day. Yeah, the statuette, if activated as an action by by reciting the prayer on the bottom, which is in Sawagim, so Corzin can read this. Casts will heal 1d8 plus 2 hit points.
Oh, that's very good, actually.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
basically
effectively kill wounds. Yeah.
Only to the person holding it.
Still though, pretty good.
Yeah.
So write that
Does
down.
it have to be the person holding it who reads it?
No. Someone else can read it, but the person receiving the effect has to hold it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm going to say. Actually, no. I'm going to, for convenience, I'm going to say no. The person who holds it has to be the person who reads it, because that makes more sense. Because otherwise, someone else could use the action, and that would be weird.
Confusing.
Do you have to be reading it, or can you just be?
No, you can recite it. You don't need to read it.
So if it's learnt.
Yes, you can learn it phonetically and read it. And rattle
cool.
it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
If Corzin can read it, he can explain to you. Okay, so you pronounce that more like a, bleh, and this one's more like a sort of.
I take that back. Actually, no.
Oh.
You totally can place it in someone's hands and read it.
Okay.
And read it and the person holding it will get the benefit. I thought about that.
Maybe. OC for a second we should give it to Scamp, because Scamp doesn't have any healing. But in all seriousness, we both have healing spells, you don't. It would be nice for you to have one.
How big is this thing?
It's. I think I said it was about 10 inches tall. Let me just double check.
It's quite a big thing to be tying to my belt.
It's like an
Put
action
it in
map.
your backpack.
Let's see. Salamangin encounter.
It's a really big thing for Corzin to carry around.
Oh god.
Yeah, for Corzin that. Well, actually, if it's 10 inches, then that's nearly a third of his total height.
He's so tiny, I love him. I have so much fun picturing the scale of us, passing things between us and it looking different sizes in everybody's hands. I swear that's what I spend a good fifth of my time doing.
Okay, I didn't state it, but I think
it's so fun.
From memory, I think it was 10 inches. Yeah, so it's it's almost a foot long. It's
chunky.
It's a fairly chunky thing. It's made from a single massive tooth.
God.
With the 2 pearls stuck in.
But yeah, I vote we give it to Scamp. What does everyone else think?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
It seems sensible, doesn't it? So
Okay.
if you pop that in your...
The diviner actually says, I mean, myself, looking at that's pretty useful. I'd offer to buy it from you for 300 gold crowns, but it might be more useful if you get into a lot of danger yourselves.
Yeah, we can always use more healing, frankly, but
That's
thank
all
you for
right.
the offer.
I'll get started on this dagger then. And over the next 10 minutes, he looks over the dagger, says, "Bad news with this. I'm afraid this is just an ordinary obsidian dagger. But if you want, I'll take it in lieu of the other 10 gold you owe me."
I mean, do either of you want it for anything?
Nah.
I'm not
It's just
particularly
a dagger,
bothered.
isn't it?
Corzin?
I've already got one. It's fine.
I've got a dagger too. Yeah, that works.
Well, it'd be nice to get for my
Also,
niece.
an OC apology. I just misgendered Scamp again. I really do apologise. I gendered them as Robbie again. It happens all the time. So yeah, sorry
Well, carry
about
on. That's all right. Well, it happens. We know we're wrong.
that. Yeah, but
Um,
we need to be better.
Yeah. So he goes back. Right. So about the scrying. Yeah. So I can look for. This works best on people.
I've got a person in mind.
Okay. So I can do. It'll take me about 10 minutes, and I can focus in on them for about 10 minutes. It's expensive, I'm afraid.
How expensive?
That will cost you 200 gold pieces.
I'm
I'm afraid the scrying mirror I built to make it possible was quite
Done.
expensive to build.
Done.
I can give you some money.
It's all right, Scamp. You don't have to give me
Got
money.
loads.
All right.
That's
So
very sweet. You
If
don't
I
have
just
to.
spend it on sweets, I will die.
Oh, you really don't have to. That's your money. Don't worry.
okay.
But yes.
Do you? All right. So I don't know this person, but the person you want to find. But if there's someone in particular, if you've got a picture of them, a possession that belonged to them, or a lock of their hair, anything like that.
I have a gift from them. But would I get it back?
Oh yeah, absolutely. What kind of scrying spell would completely destroy an object like that?
I don't know.
Listen, if you've been talking to scryers who've been offering to do that sort of thing for you, and it would have actually and they've claimed it would destroy whatever object. No, they just wanted to steal whatever it was.
Fucking asshole.
But no, yeah, yeah, it's worth mentioning for our listeners, technical truth. She only said you wouldn't get it back. She didn't say that it would be a result of the ritual, so she was planning to just nick whatever you gave her.
By the way, I said fucking asshole out loud in character.
Yeah.
Just for the record.
Okay.
That's
Gosh.
a good point, though. Do you think we'd be able to find out where she got to?
We could, but not with this 200 gold that I've just spent, I'm afraid.
No, all right, no. I'm not suggesting that. You've got your own things to be dealing with.
That's all right. So,
I take off a bracelet. It's a leather bracelet, quite simple, and it's got a little leather charm on it that's like half a circle, and the half circle has sort of the moon setting, like almost as though the half circle line is the horizon and the moon setting down. It's got little stars on it, and it's sort of painted up nicely, kind of thing. So I pass that to him like, this is it.
okay. Takes it through the little hatch, and you see him goes, right, give me a moment, I'm going to set this up. Rolls up the identification circle, puts it away, and goes into the next room, where he returns a couple of minutes later with what appears to be a very large polished mirror. And he proceeds to fill it with a jug of what appears to be mercury, and starts setting up a number of things around it. You notice that he pulls out a complex array of what appear to be very carefully cut blocks of silvery metals of different colours. Not different colours, they're mostly vague, like variations on silver, but none of you have any proficiency in metalworking of any type, do you?
I don't think so.
No.
No.
Any of you have proficiency in nature?
Nature?
Definitely
yes,
not.
I do.
Okay, I'll let you make a nature check, see if you can identify any of these by sight.
Celestia's getting
Right.
very fidgety while this is going on.
That's 15.
Yeah, these are interesting. Like, there are some metals you've seen before in, like, chemists' shops. Like, you know, like in the sense of people who work with chemistry. And you work, like, there's stuff like I think tantalum exists at this point, I'm not sure. Well, I mean, obviously it exists, but I think the means to isolate it exists. So yeah, there's unusual things like tantalum, molybdenum, a lot of metals. Like, they're not just, you know, silver the way that Celestia or Scamp would assume looking at it. Some of these are very unusual metals that appear to have been chosen for their magical resonance in some way, and they've been carefully inscribed with complex sigil patterns. And so he seems to be aligning them around this mirror full of mercury in this concave mirror in very specific ways. It takes him about 10 minutes to set up, and he finally places the locket in the mercury with a pair of tongs. He looks up and goes, "Don't worry, you'll get this back afterwards."
Thank you.
So, what's the name of the person I'm looking for?
Leah Dunn.
Okay. I can watch them for 10 minutes. During that time, I'm going to be in functionally a trance. So, if you have anything specific you want to know about them that you want me to look for, I can do it now. You need to tell me now.
I want to know if she's alive, where she is, what state she's in, who else has any information about where she is and what state she's in.
I can only see in her immediate area. If I recognise where she is, but any significant landmarks or similar, then I can tell you that.
Any information is good at this point.
If she is alive, this spell will take. If it doesn't, then I will tell you.
Thank you.
Okay, so he aligns the last few metal objects, and all of them begin to hum with light and sound, because humming. And you watch as the mercury begins to ripple and shift, and there are shadows of it in it and things that you can't quite see. And as he stares down into it, sort of placing his hands so he can comfortably rest on the table and look down, his eyes begin to begin to take on the shape of the mercury, flashing the silver. And and for the next 10 minutes, he just watches.
Celestia paces and stares at him periodically and just paces more.
Actually, no. Before that, Leah, because she's unaware of this, has to make a saving throw. Fortunately, he is competent.
Good.
After 10 minutes of waiting, the mercury stills and it fades from his eyes.
So?
Okay, he returns. First of all, she's alive.
Good.
She's received an injury. It appears that at some point in the recent past, she was gashed along her face with a bladed object.
Right.
The wound has not been receiving good treatment. It has been festering, but it has been receiving some treatment. She currently has the eye bandaged. I'm not sure of its current state.
Right.
One eye seems to be fine. For the 10 minutes I observed, she was sat. Appears to be, I'd say, the hold of a ship. Judging from the sounds, the motion, very little light, only a light creeping through the floor, the boards above. There was a porthole partially open some distance away, but again, I wasn't able to get a lot of... I couldn't look that far. The rest of the light was provided by oil lamps. It seemed that she, from what I could see of her, she remained within this room. She didn't leave. She was there were a number of other injured individuals, variety of races.
Like a hospital sort of thing?
Of a sort.
Like the ship's first aid bit.
Well, if it was, then it was an impromptu one, and one that she seemed to be running or at least assisting in. From what I saw, she was moving between the other injured individuals with, or I can only see with perhaps a bucket of salt water and some fresh water, getting them to drink where they could clean.
So no one else was helping.
No, there were a couple of others as well.
Were they injured as well?
Yes, it looks like they were. It looks like they were mostly taking care of each other as best they could.
So they've just been left under the ship to die, basically.
I don't know. The what I saw, there was treatment. There was at least one individual who had lost a leg, and it had been cleaned and bound. And certainly some care had been provided in terms of medical supplies in the least, but it seemed rather that they were dealing with very stretched supplies. I only saw 10 minutes of it, but if they have been, as I assume from your infection, captured, then their captors are doing what they can to keep them alive. That much seems to be the case. I didn't see anyone come into or out of the hold at the time, so I can't say whether or not they are being held prisoner there or not. No one was in any chains, although I did see scarring which would match up to long-term wearing of chains and manacles.
Did she have scars?
From what I could see, some mild scarring around the wrists from but more the result of recently healing injury. The main injury, as far as I could tell, was the face wound. I'm afraid I couldn't.
How bad is that? Is that something?
Depends. With the attention of a skilled doctor or ship surgeon, she'll have a nasty scar and keep the eye. Without, she might lose the eye.
Right.
It all depends on what sort of facilities they have, where they make port, and what they can get hold of.
Celestia's going to get a little bit visibly wobbly for a second and take herself to the nearest chair and just sort of sit. Thank you for that information. I assume that's all of it?
That's everything I was able to observe. I tried to gather as much information as I could, but without a view of the surface, I couldn't tell you what ship they were on. I couldn't tell you where they were. I wasn't able to spot much in terms of coastline, but it felt like they were in transit rather than at dock.
And alive. Thank you for that. Could I have the bracelet back, please?
Yes, of course. He takes the tongs and pulls the bracelet out of the mercury, gives it a bit of a shake, makes sure it's dabs it with a towel just in case there's any lingering little mercury globules in it.
I put it back on my wrist. I just sort of hang on to it for a minute and try and gather myself. Not well.
And just pat her on the shoulder awkwardly.
Corzin would, but he can't reach.
Oh.
But I'm sorry about your companion's situation. If I could find more information than that, I would.
You gave me everything you could. I appreciate you
That's all right.
being so forthright. Right, did anyone else have anything they wanted to do here?
Okay, so with that, he begins clearing away the scrying equipment.
Well, she's alive, I suppose.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we know more now than we did before.
Yeah, we do. I'd like to know the name of whoever cut her face up, but that can come later, I suppose.
Well, we've got at least a lead on where she might be.
We do. I mean, there's no reason to believe that she'd have moved off that ship, the Scarlet Wind.
We've got a place to ask if she has those.
We do, and now,
contacts.
frankly, we know that there is point in asking, which is a relative luxury compared to what we had for a while.
Yeah.
So, right. Is there anything else you guys wanted to do while we're here?
I want a colouring book. It seems kind of silly now.
We can get you a colouring book. Can
Just
I?
a blank one I can scribble in.
You know, it's kind of strange. You've done almost everything other than there's two notable exceptions of age-inappropriate things you haven't done. But other than that,
Yeah.
you got a wide range of age-appropriate and inappropriate activities, is what I'm saying.
At this
I
point,
haven't had much time to be a kid.
Well, at
Really.
this point,
You
actually,
can be a kid, Scamp. It's okay.
I'm going to say Farrell returns with a large book. It's about sort of a little bit larger than A4 kind of sized. It's bound in very cheap leather, and it's just full of blank pages of paper. He says, "Well, since you three have been particularly good customers today," he lifts the hatch and passes it through. "Said you wanted something to scribble in."
That's
I've-
perfect.
That's,
Not quite seen an artistic dwarf of your
Yeah,
type before, but
adult dwarf.
yeah, I understand you mostly going for the sculpting, but yeah, what can I say? I've had this lying around.
that's very kind of you.
It's all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, one moment. He comes back with a selection of coloured pencils. My niece left these.
Thank you. Thank you, kind, gentle sir.
That's all right.
And thank you for your scrying. We're a lot further on than we were. I appreciate it.
Do you have any other services or items for sale that might be of use to us?
I'm mostly dealing services. As for not much in the way of items. Yeah, I was curious about the statuette because, well, I just happen to know I have a couple of correspondence friends who might be interested in such a thing, but it's not really something I mostly deal with. In terms of my common spells that I do translations of books a lot. I have a spell that lets me work through different languages. I look at things, help detect the presence of absence of magic on them, that sort of thing. There's a few services I don't offer anymore, which I used to do for the military as well. But yeah, and a bit of just general spellcasting work.
Fair enough. I think that is everything we can ask currently.
Yeah, I think I'd like to go and get quite drunk now.
That sounds like a really good plan.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Much obliged to you, sir.
all right,
He cocks his tricon.
safe drinking.
Thank you.
and you head out to get plastered. Before we
Day drinking once again.
Before we go on to our break, I'm just going to ask you, in summary, what the pair of you do for the next couple of days before you set sail.
I wait till Celestia's super drunk, and then I try and sleight of hand a lot of gold.
How much gold?
Oh my god.
75 gold.
Okay.
They're not small things. This is going to be really hard.
I mean, Celestia does get really pissed.
Yeah, I'm going to
like,
say
really
we're just going to
drunk
say
that
you get rat-arsed. So make your perception check with disadvantage.
Hang on. Oh, that would be a 6.
19.
Oh wow!
You gain 75 gold pieces.
Yay!
Corzin is going to try and see if there are any tiny little odd jobs he can do for people, or other gambling games he can get himself into to try and increase his pile.
Okay. I'm going to say... Alright, for odd jobs, roll an investigation check.
Alright. I think that's an 11. Oh wait, no, that's a 12.
Nothing that's... You make enough to pay for drinking money, but not that much more. Just a couple of things like fixing roofs and the like. But if you want to try gambling, you don't have. Do you have proficiency in any gambling tools, like cards or dice or anything? All right.
I don't think so.
All right. I do have some rules for this. Okay, I'm going to ask you to make some rolls for me. So this is gambling. Okay. I'm going to ask you to make a check one at a time against... Let's say it's 2d10. Okay. Can I ask you to make an insight check first, please?
Okay. That's a 15.
Okay. That's actually one failure. Can I ask you to make a deception check, please?
Yep. 9.
Okay. And can I ask you to make an intimidation check, please?
18.
Okay.
He's got terrible intimidation, yet, anyway, carry on.
You come out of it having only lost 2 gold pieces.
Okay, fair enough.
You got the DC is actually rolled randomly, so
So we have two days, right?
yeah.
Celestia would like to spend most of that time getting pissed, smoking opium, and singing wherever they'll have her.
Okay, I'm going to need 2 Constitution saves from you, please.
That's a D6. Stop rolling D6s, right? Okay.
Yeah, don't do that.
Okay, so 1 success because it's a 16. 1 10? Is that a success or a failure? I can't remember.
That's a 9 for you, actually.
Oh, that is a 9.
So
yeah, that's
one
totally
success,
a 9.
1 failure,
Sorry.
and can I have 2 more for it as well, please? So up 1, down 1.
How many times are we assuming that I smoke opium?
Oh no, this is for your addiction counter.
Oh, okay, cool. So
Yep,
1 success, that's a 17. And 1 failure, because that's a 3.
You smoke 2. I'm going to say you smoke 2 of your bits of opium.
Yeah, I think 2 for 2 days.
2 for 2 days,
We're not
and
going
you come out
stupid.
still at addiction counter 1. So you still so although you smoke some of it to sleep, so you are able to recover hit dice back up to full, you are still at the effect that until you shake this, you can't recover hit dice on long rests without the use of opium.
Unless I
If you smoke opium in order to help you get to sleep, then you...
I assume that I've been smoking it before bed. Yeah.
Then you recover full hit dice instead.
Cool.
If I'm around her for any of this, can I make an insight check to see if I can deduce what's going on?
Make a medicine check.
I mean, I'm not crazy addicted in terms of addiction.
Yeah.
Like, the addiction counter goes up to 10.
I'm aware of this, although I think Corzin will have been around enough people potentially who are to know the signs. But medicine.
Medicine check, please.
That's a natural 1, but I'm going to use my lucky feat because
Yes!
I haven't used that
You
before.
do have one of those.
You do have halfling's luck. Episode 9, and we finally remembered it.
Yeah.
Only took this long. From all of us, though. Like,
Yeah,
seriously. We all know that you have this, and none of us remember it.
For all that was worth, I rolled a 9, and my medicines are actually pretty good.
Yeah. Celestia seems pretty cut up about the news and is kind of going into substance abuse over it, but she seems to be holding herself okay, as far as you can tell.
Yeah, it's no worse than guys drinking over a lost love or
Yeah.
Oh, I'm drinking as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's just going on a 2-day bender.
Yeah, I do go on a 2-day bender.
It's what some people would refer to as self-medicating.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not dealing with this, just substances instead.
After
Imagine I'm very hungover
actually,
for the sail out. Actually,
Scamp, what do you do over the next 2 days?
I'm going to scribble in my book
Okay.
and try and write down the magic things, what I've seen, and see if I can work out how they work.
Yeah, you kind of start scribbling down what you've observed about the
In pencil crayons.
Yep, in pencil crayons, weird bits of notes and scribbles that only make sense to you about I think more the magic detecting side of the ritual that was observed, and and what you saw about the mending.
It's a mixture of 3 languages, none of which I can write properly.
Yep.
Actually, I did have a thought. Corzin is going to use his navigator's tools and just study the map of the local area, and see if he can deduce where the next most likely place any survivors from Slavitska's Isle would have gone, assuming they would have had access to a ship at least as good as the Kipper, because it wouldn't have been any better than that.
Yeah.
but they could have got somewhere and then gone somewhere else, couldn't they?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I'm thinking that I don't think there are any other places other than where we are now that they could have realistically got to.
Make a navigation check.
Yeah. Navigation, alright. So, this would be... I believe it would be wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom
plus
proficiency.
Right, okay. That's an unnatural 20.
Nice.
Yeah, there's really only 2 places they could have made it to that are inhabited and large enough. Like, there are small coastal villages, that's the thing, which we haven't touched on, but large enough to actually catch a ship somewhere else.
Oops. Sorry, that was my phone.
That's right. Large enough to actually catch a ship somewhere else. Pretty much paid as March or Borwick's Bay from here. From there.
Right. Okay.
And Borwick's Bay is where we're going anyway, isn't it? So...
Borwick's Bay is where you are. You're going to Crosswater.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting confused. We're going to Crosswater. Yeah, Crosswater's next. Sorry, yeah.
Okay. So, the 22nd of falling leaves rolls around. You return to the ship, and as you a couple of hours before you make a few hours before you make a departure, you watch like hawks as the Fawn, it was essentially a merchant frigate, set sail heading north towards Crosswater. After it's vanished over sufficiently out of sight, you ready the ship, and the Chinese Regret sets sail after its prize. And that's where we will pick up after the break.
Okay.
Yay.
Excellent.
Naval combat.
Naval combat! I wrote a naval combat system for this! So,
Yay.
we'll see you after this surely important message.
Hello. I'm a little Sahuagin minion and I've just stolen Scamp's beard. It looks really good on me. I don't see any way that this could go wrong in the future. As a fish person, I do particularly like people liking and subscribing things, particularly fish-based things, but I will also take subscribers for Flintlocks and Fireballs as a second best.
And welcome back. Alright then, so it's time for us to return to the Charlie's Regret. It is A day later, the Chinese Regret pursues the fawn at distance, deliberately staying beyond the horizon at first, and then making to catch up. Now, to begin with, Captain Brandy is, once out of sight of the port, is going to fly some false colours to start, flying bright Horlish colours rather than Sulian colours, so as to avoid throwing off their prey too early. Now, I have put into the chat a map of the Dragon Coast as it is.
Which listeners will be on all the social medias as ever, including the website as well. So we'll make sure that's up there. So at this point, if you want to, you can check it out and have a look.
So, in character, you'll be able to. You'd have seen the maps laid out, and you can see that the route from Bulwark's Bay to Crosswater is a sort of U-shaped curve. But in order to get there, before passing into the Viridian Bay, both ships will need to go through the Bright Water Channel. And that is where they plan to strike. Okay, so I've rolled for weather because part of this because the weather can make quite a difference to ship combat. So at the point at which the Regret finally catches sight of the fawn, it is a dry, quite a dry day for autumn. It's warm though, still that unseasonable autumn heat, and although the worst of it is taken off by quite strong winds pushing the ship forward. Not quite gale force, but certainly heavy winds, and in favouring the direction of sail. So, both the Regret and the Fawn will be travelling a little faster. They're in high wind, so their average speed goes up by 20%, which slightly favours the Regret as the faster ship of the two. Yeah, the Regret has an average, at moderate winds, the Regret makes about 6 knots, whereas the Fawn makes about 5.5. So, during the early phase of combat, because the point at which the Regret and the Fawn, the Regret spots the Fawn, is, I sat down and I worked out what the effective horizon would be at the start of this, and in a perfectly clear day like today, it's about 50,000 feet away.
Wow,
that's relatively close.
Yeah, the ships, because of the curvature of the planet, the rate at which someone spots someone is dependent on their altitude. In later years, ships will have higher observation points, but as things are right now, the mast is about 180. The crow's nest is, I think, about 180 feet up from from sea level. So,
Quail before this research, listeners. This is thorough.
So, because of the way the curvature of the Earth works, the spotting distance on a clear day on the horizon for the lookout to spot the sails of the Fawn is about 50,000 feet away.
Okay.
So, the advantage, the advantage per hour is about 3,000 feet for the Regret over the Fawn. But because they have a 20% advantage, both go up by. I'm not going to do the exact maths because that would be exhausting. So I'm going to do some slightly napkin mathsing, and I'm going to pretend that that's 3.6 thousand feet per hour gain. So as we go per hour, I'm going to be rolling to see how the temperature changes as well. And I'm going to be asking you to do navigate. I'm going to be asking, at first it's going to be mostly navigation checks. As we get close enough to enter gun range, that's when the gunning will happen. Now, your characters, if you find interesting ways to act as your characters during this extended period, feel free to do so. But during this time, Corzin, you will be acting rolling in place of Captain Brandy and First Mate Vig, making navigation checks with your navigator's proficiency. So I will ask you. So when I call for a navigation check, I want you to roll it. Scamp, you will be rolling in place of the recently promoted head gunner, Seaman Salts. Who actually
other ones are good.
Yes, he received the promotion while in shore, and it didn't come up. Because Seaman Salts has better wisdom than you, when I call for a wisdom-related gunning check, she has a wisdom modifier of +2, so you can make this at a +4 when I call for them. Celestia, I don't have a specific role for you right now, but if you think of anything interesting to do with Celestia that will help, please feel free to do so. Okay.
Shanties.
I mean...
Yeah, genuinely, particularly when things close in a little bit closer, morale might actually be very important. So
it's also about rhythm. Sea shanties had purpose.
Yeah.
True.
To keep the crew working to the same rhythm.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I will say. All right. In each round, then of this, I'm gonna if you can beat, because bearing in mind sustaining a rhythm like this over a long period of time is a bit exhausting. If you can beat, anytime you can beat a 15 on your performance check, you can give Corzin advantage on the navigation check.
Doing that, yes.
Yeah.
I like to think I'm just going to be sat in the corner like, whiskey is the life of man, whiskey, Johnny. Actually, I'm not sat in the corner at all. I wouldn't be sat in the corner.
No, the shanty man, you're up on front.
What a load of bollocks. Yeah, I'd be sat like at the helm, looking at everyone like stood on like... the edge of the rigging, like just up there.
Okay. All right. I'm going to say opposed navigation. Okay. Well, first of all, actually, there is one thing I can ask you to do. Can I, Celestia, in standing in for Captain Brandy, can you roll a deception check, please? Because I'm going to see whether they notice anything odd about the false colours yet.
That's a 12.
No, these guys are on it. So you get
Shit.
No,
sorry, that's a 9, not a 6. No, that's wrong. That's a 15. I'm so sorry.
They're all natural 17.
Fuck
They spotted you guys inshore and have put 2 and 2 together. Clearly recognising the ship. That's all right. So they will be rolling opposed navigation checks. So can I have navigation checks, please?
Yep.
Do you want me to make a performance thing to see if I help?
Yes.
That was cocked.
Oh, hang on. That's a 13 for performance, so I don't do well.
That's a 6.
Oh, with advantage? Oh, you didn't get the advantage.
Oh, wait,
you didn't get the
advantage?
No, sorry,
no,
it was
I
13.
get it.
Okay.
Like, my rhythm's pretty good, but it's not quite good enough to help. It's mostly boosting morale.
They rolled a natural 20, so I'm going to say the two ships, they're able to keep distance away from you. They would need some... they would need a bit more of an advantage to completely lose you, but even so, the regret is faster than the form. So this is some skillful sailing on their part. So that's our first hour. With an hour passing.
God, I'm rolling in hours. This is
so weird. So, yep. Okay. Let's see if anything changes. Oh, sorry, no, I do these as D20s, which is especially weird for me. I'm going to need... I'll use that then for wind. The maximum range for the bow guns is 2,400 feet. So when we hit... So once we hit around 2,000 feet, we'll go into per minute rounds instead. Okay. All
right.
Roll for weather. Do you think you made the system too complicated, Jason? Let's find out. Okay.
It's really cool, though.
Yeah.
Really
okay.
cool.
Things are starting. Okay. Both wind and heat are starting to pick back up.
We should publish this, actually.
I likely will.
Yeah. Well, listeners, will publish this when this episode comes out. We'll publish Jason's naval combat system.
I'll work it out.
That he's made.
Which by then I may have
cool.
stats for more ships as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So Okay, so both wind and heat are starting to pick back up again. I'm going to ask you for a new set of rolls, please.
So that is a 20 non-natural for singing.
Cool.
Okay, is that
Advantage,
after-
yeah. If she gets
anything
15 or higher.
Yeah.
Natural 20.
Ooh.
I will roll it again just in case.
In case of what?
Okay, no, that's natural. I'll go with the natural 20.
So-
Go with the
so that was
natural
a-
20. I think we should go
Yeah,
with
so that was a natural 2. I'm going to say you they essentially almost run aground at one point. And the time it takes for them to sort this absolute mess out, you manage to gain another 6,000 feet on them. You are now 35,000 feet away. It has that's hour 6. It's hour 7. Yeah, these ships combat this stage of ship's combat can take a long time. Okay, check for weather. Oh, okay. So that is wind and temperature both increasing again. Okay, we're back into strong winds, and now the heat because this was starting around dawn. So this is now was this hour 7 or hour 8? Hour 7.
Hour 7.
Yeah, this is now coming to midday, and it is baking heat.
But also super windy.
But windiest, yeah. Like again, we're not quite hit gale, but it's strong winds, high heat. Everyone is sweating like a pig as they're manning the rigging. Rolls, please.
So my check was 17.
Cool. So roll with advantage.
Windy, weather, stormy weather, boys. When the wind blows,
we're all together.
That's what's happening.
Oh,
on the
okay,
rigging
that's
right now.
18.
Okay, yep, no, you close another 4,000 feet, 26 kilometers away now. You've now halved the distance from the horizon. It's taken you...
Oh, you sou'wester, you blow, you winds blow.
Yeah.
Southwesterly, steady she goes. That's
Yeah.
what's happening
You
on the
it's-
rigging.
It is now hour 9 of the pursuit.
Blowy winds westerly, blowy winds blow.
Yeah.
Celestia's like, fuck, I'm tired.
I'm going to say after this round, you might have to stop performing and rest for 4 hours.
4 hours. Oh, Scott.
Yeah,
having a
you've been
nap.
working. You've been chanting 8 hours straight.
Jesus Christ. I mean, I assume I've had vague water breaks. And
Yeah,
stuff,
but even
like-
so, like, if you want to continue off without taking a 4-hour break, I'm going to make you roll Constitution saves
Yeah, I mean, okay.
against exhaustion.
What if I take like a 1 hour break? If I
I'm
don't
going to say
for
like
an
you've got to
hour?
take a nap.
Okay, cool. I've got to take a nap.
Yeah. But it's up to you. If you want to, you can go for this round and try and risk
Fuck it.
exhausting yourself.
Why not?
Okay, go for it. Weather is stable.
Or shall I? Maybe I'll have a break for this round.
Okay, you're breaking. Okay, so you will come back in on round 12.
Okay, what round are we on now?
Round 9.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you give your voice a rest.
I'll drink some water.
And take
chill
some
out.
rest. Yeah. During this whole time, it's not just the 3 of you who are on shift. Like the shifts have been coming on and going off and keeping the ship
Yeah.
going over.
I
this
assume we're rolling
9 hours.
collectively for
Yeah, you are
everyone.
rolling for the ship as a whole.
Yeah.
Okay, so can I ask? Okay, hour 12. You come back from your break, at Celestia. Okay. So, yeah, okay, so it's getting a very fine drizzle begins to fall.
22, by the way.
Okay.
Blowy winds westerly, blowy winds blow.
Okay.
Westerly, steady she goes.
Okay, so the wind has now, the wind is lowering again. The temperature is cooling, but it's a very warm rain that's starting to fall. Can I ask for your navigation check with advantage, please?
Right. 14.
15. You still gaining some distance on them, but not as much. Down to 11,000 feet. Hour 13. I'm keeping a track, by the way, because it's actually possible for them to if they can keep going long enough, they can actually get to crosswater or like within range of naval patrols and escape you. So hour 13. Okay, temperature is falling now because we are into the late afternoon, and we're we're kind of hitting the point where it's coming towards evening now. Although the rain is picking up instead, and has now become a pretty constant, heavy, continuous drenching the deck. What's the wind and temperature like? No, you're fine. No lightning. We don't get a storm yet. Temperature or wind need to go up before that can happen. Can I ask for a performance check, please?
That's a 14.
Not enough. So just standard navigation, please.
11.
12. Yeah. It is to the advantage that the ship itself is just faster, but it takes it down to 9 kilometers. At this point, this late in the day, so hour 14 now, you notice something change strangely up ahead, and from what is otherwise relatively sort of calm wind, there's low wind. It's like there's still some wind. It's like kind of low end of moderate. The other ship's sails suddenly billow, and it begins to speed forwards as if it had a strong wind behind it. I'm going to ask you to roll a navigation check, please. They roll theirs with advantage. Oh, sorry, you can roll a performance check to see if you can counteract.
Oh, that's a natural 1 for me.
Celestia
breaks a guitar string and has to restring it.
Yeah, you can't roll in the next hour.
Ah, shit.
Okay.
Okay, that is a 17.
Oh, 21 from them, and they have a speed boost for 1 hour. So they are actually able to gain 3 kilometers.
How many hours does it take to reach Crosswater?
So that was 14. If they can evade you for a full 24 hours, they will reach sight of ships that can aid them. So it's now hour 15. Night is starting to come on board. The sun is starting to set. Oh, that was cocked. The weather continues as it is. Sort of moderate like reasonably warm rain and low winds. But it seems whatever spell they used to gain that extra wind only lasted for an hour. The sails returned to normal. You can't help on this round because your guitar string is broken.
Yeah, I'm fixing my guitar.
Can I ask you for a navigation check, please?
14.
Okay. You're able to close 4 kilometers of distance. They are 8 kilometers away. Sorry, they're 8,000 feet away from you. Wrong system.
Yeah,
it's not that
you
far,
keep
is
switching
it?
between kilometers and feet.
I mean
and it's
1,000
weird.
feet, and I'm saying the wrong thing because I want to say kilofeet, but that's not how systems work.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and there's.
Hey, it could be an in-universe method.
We'll say kilofeet for the
moment.
I'll say kilofeet for the moment, just so I don't.
Can't say kilofeet because my brain will explode and I will die.
Yeah, your brain will explode.
From the
At
confusion.
some point, I may do a conversion of this in metric because I mean thousands of feet.
Right,
but
okay.
it's like 5,200 feet for a mile, and it's more precise than that, and I don't want to worry about it. So
Yeah, fine, okay.
okay, so hour 16. It is now dark. Roll your navigation checks, please, and actually performance as well.
26.
Okay, with an advantage.
Nice. Okay, 18.
They are pulling it as fast as they can. You are still able to close distance. You are 6,000 feet away. If you can get within 2,000, then combat will the next phase of combat will begin. Okay, hour 17.
Charge those cannons, boys.
Hour 17. Jesus Christ. 25.
Okay. Oh boy, it's happening.
This is bloody happening.
The rain and wind is picking up, and the sky is now covered, and you hear above.
Oh no.
Through this whole hour, thunder and lightning begin to crackle across the skies in this late autumn storm. The winds aren't that strong, but this presents navigation hazards. So, what was your performance check?
25.
Okay, Corzin, you roll without advantage. You roll a straight roll. They roll with disadvantage.
Right. Okay.
Visibility is quartered, but you are actually close enough that it doesn't make a difference now.
Oh, that's good. That's 19.
Okay, and with that, as you enter the 18th hour of the fight, you finally close into gun range. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to roll for the final weather conditions. Okay. As you get into place, the storm begins, which only lasted for. It seems to have burnt itself out in an hour, but it is still, and it's still warm, and it's still raining. It is just pouring down with just this constant deluge. If you,
I'm gonna put my hood
yeah,
up.
what I'm going to say is, if you try anything acrobatically risky, there is a risk of going overboard. Fair warning.
Because I swim so well.
Okay, so we are now rounds now go minute by minute. Per minute, at the current rate of wind, the Regret can only makes 50 feet, has a 50-foot advantage in terms of of gaining rate with everyone's sails in their current condition. Staring through the darkness, lit up by the very occasional still flash of lightning, although it's overcast above, you can see that the Fawn does have. So, looking at the Fawn, it's bigger than the Regret. It's a frigate rather than a sloop, but it doesn't seem to be as well armed. Its broadside cannons are smaller and there's less of them. This is a merchant ship. Mm-hmm. It has a few to deter casual pirates, but you're better armed than it. Additionally, it doesn't have bow guns. It has aft guns or possibly stern guns. I'm not really sure which it would be. So it can fire. It fires backwards while you are pursuing. Yeah, it's designed to try and give it an edge against pirates who are presumably pursuing it. Now, here's where I talk a little bit about how combat works in the gunnery phase. So, as the distance closes to engagement distance, 2,400 feet in this case, the rate of turns goes down to 1 per minute. Once things get to sort of swiveled gun distance or maximum spell range, depending, turns go back to once per round again. Because at that point, people can start firing guns and so on and individually sort of making a difference. So, I'm going to say... Alright, to keep you, Celestia, to keep you having a thing to do, I'm going to put you in the role of Captain Brandy.
Okay.
Corzin, you're still doing navigation.
I assume you're functionally controlling him, but I'm rolling for him.
Yeah.
Cool.
Scamp is rolling for gunnery. So, during each round, the ship can take can pick one of 3 actions. They can attack. Attacks with the bow guns allow them to continue moving at their normal pace while they attack. They can, but a broadside will stop movement for a turn because they essentially maneuver so that one side of the ship is facing the other and they can fire.
Okay.
The broadsides for the Charlie's Regret do have a maximum range of 2,400 feet, so you could conceivably try and, if you got 500 feet closer, so you wouldn't just lose the range while you did the broadside, you could try and pull off a broadside. You can have you get one broadside every 3 minutes. It takes 2 minutes to reload the bow gun, so you can take one bow gun attack, bow shot, so a forward shot every 2 minutes. The other two actions are full speed, which is a navigation check versus the wind, the difficulty of the wind, to try and gain extra speed. Or you can evade, which halves your speed but attacks against you have disadvantage. This is only really useful if you've closed within short range for the guns. So the guns are long range, so attacks with disadvantage anyway, at 2,400 feet. They are short range at 600.
Okay.
So, it's the first round of combat. What do you want to do, shipwise? Keep pursuing them, or try and launch a bow gun at them? You can try and with the bow guns, you can try and take down their masts from a distance to reduce their speed.
Well, that sounds sensible.
Yeah, mast taking down is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah. By the way,
So, is it still raining?
it's still raining like a motherfucker. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a constant storm. By the way, if you're not comfortable with this roll, you can.
No, I'm fine.
Cool.
How well would Alchemist Fire work in the rain?
Alchemist Fire, make an Arcana check.
That's a 19.
Alchemist Fire will actually float on water and burn.
Ah.
So, yeah.
Nasty
Terrible
stuff.
stuff.
Okay, tell me when Celestia can make an action.
Okay. You'll need to you'll need to get within the sort of range where it's close enough to go down to one round at a time.
Yeah, I have an idea.
Okay, but if you
Tell me when I can do a thing. I
whenever
want to
you
talk
want,
to someone.
technically.
Okay, cool. I want to go up to Seaman Salts.
Okay.
Seaman Salts.
Yeah.
What would happen? I've got this. I pull out my little jar of Alchemist Fire. What would happen if we put this in a cannon and fired it at them?
Well, either it would set one of my guns on fire, or I suppose if we're very lucky, it might go with the cannonball out to where they are. Depends whether it hits.
Wondering if that would be a good idea or not. I've got it.
It's a pretty crazy idea, but if things get desperate, you can always give it a shot.
Well, it's there as an option if you want it.
All right.
Is Corzin in earshot?
Yes,
of this?
you are.
You'd be better placed to try and lob it onto the deck.
Yeah, if we get close enough, that would be good.
Okay, so so you're sorry. What do you want to do for the first round of combat?
Hit them.
Okay, you're making a bow attack. A bow attack. Can I? All right. So this goes over to you, Scamp. So bow guns. Oh, they're actually dex based. What's your dexterity?
I think it's a +2.
Okay, so that's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a dexterity you're rolling in for salts in this one. Make a dexterity plus proficiency roll because this is an attack, and you need to choose whether you are aiming at their hull or their masts.
Masts. I
Okay,
think.
this is with disadvantage because you're at extreme distance.
Oh, not dissimilar. So that is an 18.
Okay, that. Oh no, the masts have a higher AC. With the two shots, the two balls go out. You kind of watch, and they've actually got balls, a pair of balls in each cannon on a chain. So they come out and they swing and try to neck out the mast. But yeah, this was a bit far distance for to launch the chain shot. The balls, one flies past the ship entirely, one splashes into the water.
Oh.
It was a bit soon.
Bugger.
Okay, for their lot, they're going to see if they can try and make up some distance. Oh shit! Okay, they actually manage to pull distance on you and get an extra 50 feet of distance. Next round, you pretty much have to do full speed round though. So if you want to, Corzin, can I ask for a navigation check, please?
Yep. 10.
Okay. No, you are just you are able to keep pace with them, but you're still out of range. For they reload the bow guns ready to fire for what fire? Can I ask you for another navigation check?
It's a natural one. Can I use Corzin's lucky?
You can.
Yay.
I'm going to say.
Mother.
It wasn't another natural one. It wasn't.
No, it was a 2.
Fuck off.
Oh.
Okay, they are continuing to pull away.
Oh god, come on, we've got to get one shot in on them.
Okay, make another
Fucking
navigation
hell.
check, please.
Okay, that's better. That's 15.
Okay, the rain is storming down, but you managed to get back within 2,400 feet. You going to make another attack on this round? Or do you want to try and get a bit closer?
Well, if an 18 didn't hit, maybe we should
Let's
go a
get
bit
closer, yeah.
Okay, it's fine. Okay, so another navigation check, please.
13.
Okay, you pull. I'm going to say, for the sake of drama, yeah, you pull a little bit. You're now within 2,300 feet. You manage to catch the wind and get a fair bit closer to them.
I'm gonna get 100 feet closer. God. How close do we need to be?
You can fire from here, but you need to be within 600 to shoot without
That's
disadvantage.
gonna take ages.
Yeah. However, at this point, if you can, if you want to risk it, you could try and do a full-on broadside, which is a better chance of hitting. Although, again, it's just at some distance away. Or you could try and aim for their hull with the bow guns, which is an easier shot.
How many rounds would it take us to get within 600 feet? Like loads, isn't it?
Yeah, which is why you're trying to break their masts or damage their ship, because doing either of those will slow them down.
Yeah.
Question about the broadside, actually.
Yep.
Assuming we are angling the ship so as to fire the broadside,
Yep.
would it be feasible for us to do that and then, assuming, well, regardless of whether or not we hit or miss, could we then continue on and then bank in the opposite direction so we can fire another broadside from the opposite side of the ship?
Yes, basically.
Yeah, not bad shout.
The wording, the way that it's set up is you can fire one every 3 minutes because it takes 6 minutes to reload the cannons, and you've got 2 sides.
Cool.
Right, fine.
So and on the turn in which
But you can just turn around and
you can
do
just
it.
turn around and do it. Yeah.
And have people cleverly reloading.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
side
that's
while
it's all set
happening.
up.
That
with
makes sense. Yeah.
So the price you pay of the broadside is you stop moving for 1 round, which
Worth it at this point, I
Yes,
think.
let's do that.
okay. Scamp, can I ask you? So you stop moving, assuming they can make it forward at full speed. This will be it means they gain a fair bit of speed on you, but make a wisdom plus proficiency. Sorry, so wisdom with Salt's wisdom, which is +2, plus proficiency attack for the broadside. This is versus. You can't target the mast with this, so this is versus the hull, which is a lot easier to hit.
Okay, am I still at disadvantage?
Still at disadvantage,
Stroke?
but this has much more forgiving rules.
Oh, one of those is a natural 20.
Oh.
I'm so sad.
But the other one is a 21.
Oh shit! Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, so all of them hit.
Oh, thank God.
Nice.
You managed to bank in such a way as to perfectly hit that firing, like that narrow arc of fire, and as 8 guns or carronades all go off, as the all 8 of the carronade shots connect, the ship is it's fortunately wasn't also facing onto you for a broadside itself, so it's not as damaged as it conceivably could. Actually, no, this is literally as damaged as you could get. All 8 of the shots hit, and blasted it for 288 points of damage. It's at just over half health at this point.
Nice.
Yeah, it is, and it is currently suffering a speed a significant. It's not great. It's currently suffering a speed penalty right now. So you have you're currently set to make 100 feet per round on this thing, even if you don't manage to beat them. So as you that said, it does manage to get a fair bit of a little bit of distance away from you as it does so. So I'm going to say on the 2 rounds in which you're reloading and getting ready for the next broadside, can I have a couple of navigation rolls from you, please?
Yep. That's a 14 and Non-natural 20.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to say they are struggling to get things back in order. You managed to close. By the time you're ready for another broadside, you've got back to 2,400 feet away.
Excellent.
Are you ready for?
Still 2,400 feet away. Jesus.
I know. These are what these battles are like when a chase. Do you want to do risk another broadside?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, does everyone else agree? That's just me that said that.
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Shoot them, like.
worst case
God's
scenario,
sake.
they're even further slowed. Yeah.
Okay. So can I ask you to roll with disadvantage, please?
Oh, man. That was horrible. Okay, so I rolled a 1 and a 20.
Oh, natural 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
and a natural 20.
Natural 1. Okay, no. One of
Misfire?
one of the cannons misfires.
Oh no, how badly?
Pretty badly. One moment. Let me roll for this.
Oh no, which cannon is it and who's near it? Fuck.
That's a good point. Scamp, roll a luck check.
Oh dear.
9.
9. Okay, it's not. You're not next to it. But I am going to say that the cannon takes out 3 of the gunners in the process, and
Oh.
Shit. What
and
takes them out completely?
well, shrapnel. Yeah, that cannon is out of commission for this fight. It will need serious repair work doing. And it also has, if I just get the Charlie's regret rules here. Yeah, so, and it also, the Charlie's regret itself takes 36 points of damage. Not enough to impact your speed, but...
Not
Are
nice.
they completely dead or bleeding out?
Let me see. I'll roll to see how many of them are okay. One is flat out. No, his chest is gone. 2 of them are merely bleeding out, or one is bleeding out, and one is quite injured.
Can I
use the statue on the one that's bleeding out?
Okay.
I can do a healing word on one of them.
You can. That's all right. You said statue first. You read off the statue. The wound, the bleeding slows. They will live, but they are not enough.
You said there was another one though, didn't you?
Corzin, he is injured, but not life-threateningly, just enough that he can't man a gun.
Okay, I'm going to drag him off the side because I'm not doing anything.
Yeah,
so,
that's fine.
Yeah.
Corzin, you look like you were going to maybe make a medicine check there.
Yeah, I was going to say he would leap into action
Yeah,
and try and
make one because this is your job.
Right. That's a 15.
Okay, you stabilise him. He's taken aside for a time. So, good news, you've saved one of the crew.
Excellent.
Okay, so you saved 2 of the
actually,
crew.
'cause
Yeah, so
Bill's
I should
actually-
say, good news, you've only lost one of the crew.
Meh.
Yeah.
Wasn't anybody's fault this time. It was just
This is actually a
bad
point.
luck.
Scamp, can I ask you to roll 8d6 for me, please? Because I need to find out how many of the other side's crew you killed during that blast, during the barrage.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Scamp's going to have so much guilt about this. These are not bad people, they're just people.
Yeah.
Oh.
8d6 was it?
Yeah.
4, 8, 10, 14, 18, 21.
Oh, mate.
Oh, okay, so 21 out of 180 crew.
It's a lot of people
Yep,
in
so-
one shot.
259 out of 180 crew. That's fine. Keeping a note of that. Because proportionally, this reduces the number of combat capable ones on them. And if they hit a certain number of crew, they can't effectively sail the ship either. Okay. They managed to gain some distance from the shot, so I'm going to ask you for another couple of navigation checks to make up the distance again.
Right. That's a 23.
Yep.
And a 22.
Okay, you make back up to 2,400 and time to roll another broadside if you want.
It's still at 2,400.
Yeah, you're on the side which has 8 cannons. Up to you.
Has has the damage that we've done to them thus far reduced their speed?
Oh, yeah, they've lost a good 10% of their total speed. That's the thing. And they're on the verge of another good shot of that should drop that significantly more.
Or I would say actually probably worse. Full speed ahead.
I
and try and
reckon
get
so,
them with the
because we're
bow
not
cannons.
getting anywhere with the disadvantage. I think we should go for it and try and sort of ship dash for a round.
Okay, sure.
Ship dash. I like that.
Okay, roll
It's
navigation
effectively
check.
what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to say you guys are just focusing on getting closer. So,
Navigation.
yep, navigation, and I'm going to abstract this down to the next 5 minutes.
22.
Okay, so speeding up time then for the because that's the when they change their tactics, you manage to close. I'm going to say 800 feet on them, so that puts you at 1600 feet. At this point, however, they're starting to get a bit desperate, so they are going to make another navigation check for the next round. I just want to see how much closer you get.
14, sorry.
Okay, so you get another. You get within 1500 feet, but they, instead of focusing on full speed, they're getting their aft guns ready, and they're going to make shots against you. However, that was a 4. So, see your gun shots splash to the side. Okay.
We're going to want to take them out.
Okay.
We're going to want to take those aft cannons out.
Okay, if you want, you can make shots with your bow cannons against the aft cannons.
It's not a bad shout, actually.
So you can use that, do that as an action if you want.
I'd imagine while this is happening, Corzin is down, stabilising the people.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to say, make an attack roll.
With or without
So
disadvantage?
that's your point. With disadvantage, but they've got disadvantage attacking you as well.
Lovely.
They have guns.
And it's dexterity based?
Yes, for this one.
Ooh, that's a 22
Okay,
with disadvantage.
nice.
Wow, nice.
That is very nice.
18 and a 19.
They do
Nice.
actually fire back on you, but they were going for your mast, so the two shots actually go through their through some of the top sail, but just the sail part, and that's actually relatively easy for someone to get up there and fix. Okay, so 26. Yeah, okay. Those hit. I'm going to ask you to roll damage. Challenge regret damage. Can I ask you to roll? I should actually have asked you to roll those separately, but that's all right. I'm going to put these together. Can I ask you to roll 68? 3d8 twice, please. I need to know each one independently.
So that is 9.
Okay.
Oh, 3d8.
3d8.
Sorry, those were d6s. I was just picking up the same dice again. 3d8. That is 9.
Okay.
That's really weird.
That's really weird.
Also quite rubbish on 3D.
Yeah, and 10.
Okay.
Both a bit rubbish.
It doesn't completely wipe. I'm going to say. It doesn't completely wipe out the bow guns. I'm going to say that it takes out one of them and kills the gunners manning them. So they're down to one aft gun, I should say, rather than bow guns, and they've lost 6 crew members. Okay. So that at least will severely limit their ability to fire back on you. It seems like bow gunning and aft gunning is the order of the day at the moment, so I'm going to close another 100 feet for convenience. Do you guys want to take another another shot at their aft guns or their mast?
Well, we could try and slow them down again.
Yeah,
Or
although
at this
if we
point,
took out
this point, you could also do a broadside and still be in range after the broadside, albeit at disadvantage.
Or should we dash and
take
try
out
and...
that. Go on.
Or should we dash and try and actually get in proper range? Like, could we get in range if we dash? Like, I've lost track at this point.
You could get within absolute close range. Yeah,
oh my god, let's do that and stop
doing...
shooting with disadvantage. Like,
Okay, so you're gonna go for that, or I'm gonna see how.
what do you
many
guys think?
Well,
That's if everyone else
suggesting that.
agrees.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I was going to suggest if we can take out that other aft cannon, they have no defense against us unless they want to stop dead and try and broadside us themselves.
Yeah, but like if we can't catch them, then that's sort of useless.
Okay.
Fair enough.
What do you reckon?
But I mean, we're within range now that they'd have to really peg it in order to get out of range of us.
I know, but we're shooting them with disadvantage. It'd be so much easier if we just got into not disadvantage range.
Alright, let's do it.
Okay, so it's 15, so it will take... You've currently got...
And then we can take out them guns.
You're currently travelling at
at
100 feet over them, so to get within, that will take nine rounds. So during those 9 rounds, they're going to take Afghan shots against your mast.
Fair enough.
That's quite a few rounds.
Yeah. Nope. 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 It's with disadvantage. Nope. Okay, their Afghan. The last Afghan explodes.
Oh wow.
Natural one. That would be a misfire.
Oh well, no need to do that now then.
Yeah. However, as you close to within broadside range, you can see seeing the way the wind is blowing, they are also turning for their own broadside. So they are going to broadside you at the same time you broadside them. So let's. I'm going to ask you to roll some roll your broadside attack. You're using the stronger side, the one with 8 guns. So roll attack without disadvantage. They are going to do the same.
Oh, that's a 6.
6 total.
Yeah, to hit. Yeah.
Okay. No, you need a solid. You need at least 10 to for any of them to hit. They, however, are much. Oh god, yeah, no, that. So that's 48 per, which averages 260. Okay. Okay, so they manage to fire back, hitting with. They've got 6 of those that they can shoot with. So four of their long gun shots, crack, 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 manage to impact the side of the side of the ship. The ship takes 72 points of impact.
Ouch.
It was on 461. So okay, that's just about that's enough to slightly slow you down a little bit as well. You also, in addition, I'm going to roll this. There's 4 of them that hit, right? So I'm going to give it a different 4. That's a total of 14 crew members killed or
Holy
incapacitated. Shit. And I'm going to require each of you to roll a luck check, please.
Ooh,
17.
6.
Okay. 17, 6, and Corzin?
That's a 2.
Okay, so Corzin, roll a dex save for me, please.
Alright. That's a 21.
Okay, that's good news, because that means...
Do you need one from me? Was mine that low? Or?
No.
Okay, cool, good.
I rolled it percentile was 5. Oh shit. So okay, 20 halved to 10 points of percussive damage from this. You don't get clipped by the cannonball itself, but you do get smacked by a lot of the exploding debris.
That's almost worse.
Okay, so that said, both ships have stopped at that point, and are now both of you swing round for a second broadside, I'm assuming?
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
Roll a new broadside check, please.
Okay. Picking a new dice.
This is really cool, by the way.
Alpha, you don't get to play anymore. That's
Oh,
a
no.
1.
Oh, 1!
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
No!
Oh, shit. Okay, this is looking bad. Okay, first of all, another of the cannons blows. It's on the same left. It's on the right-hand side of the ship, the one that took previously as well. So so the ship takes another 32 points of 36 points of damage. Another crew member is killed or incapacitated.
Oof.
4, so that's down to 6 on that side, and another.
I like to think I'm kind of helping Corzin where I can with healing people, mostly just holding them while he does stuff to them. But
yeah,
I like to think that's kind of what I'm doing because I can't really help with the guns.
Hold his leg down. Hold his
Like
leg
this? Is
down.
this okay?
and so that's 18 times 6, so that's 36 times 3, 36, 72, 78, 108 points of damage to the regret.
So much.
Oh shit, that should be, because that was at 396 before, so that was 108, it was 388, 200,
What's the
288. Okay, it's not enough to take you down to half speed. So it's about 288 out of 500 hit points.
Oh, right.
Okay, so we're over half.
Yeah,
it's not great. But,
Yeah,
you know.
at half the ship's speed goes down significantly. It goes 50% hit points to the whole. The speed goes down by half. At 25%, the speed goes down to 0. You just can't sail it.
Oh wow!
At 0, the ship sinks. So that's
dear.
something to avoid.
Yeah.
So and crew. There's also crew deaths from all 6 of those shots.
Yeah, we had from the misfire or from the shots?
No, the misfire shots have already happened. This is from the shots
sorry,
that
I'm
hit.
getting mixed up with my shots.
Yeah, so this is...
Oh, that's a lot.
That's a lot. So that's 5, 15, 18 more crew go down.
Jesus Christ.
So that's 90... so that's 81 out of 121 crew.
It's like a third of the crew?
Yeah, and at this point I need new luck checks from you, because that's quite a high chance.
That's a 12 from me.
Okay. 9.
7.
Okay, Corzin and Scamp. I'm going to ask you for dex saves, please.
That's the 1, but I'm using the lucky feat
Yeah.
because otherwise I'm dead. Oh, that's so much better. That's almost as better as it could possibly be. That's a 25. No, wait. 23, sorry.
Yeah.
11.
Okay, both of you take 15 half to 7 points of damage. From
How's everyone
cannon
looking?
blasts.
I'm fine.
Okay, so
Either of you need a little healing word?
I'm alright
I'm
for the
fine.
moment.
Cool.
okay, so they are emboldened by their success thus far. They are going to swing round and get ready for another broadside. Do you guys want to match them, or what are you planning to do?
We gotta
Yeah,
take
fuck it,
them
let's
out.
go.
Okay. It's at least with the side that has all 8 guns functioning.
Good.
Yeah.
Roll broadside. Gonna use a different.
Can I use Tides of Chaos on this? Because it's not really me.
You can use Tides of Chaos. Okay, I'm going to say you can use Tides of Chaos on and roll your own attack with advantage for one of the guns, because you are on that gun.
But you can't use it for like the
Yeah,
general roll.
do it.
That makes sense.
Do it if do it if you're not happy with the general roll. Then you can make one. Then you can do one by yourself with Tides of Chaos.
Okay. I don't know if that's going to hit, so I'm going to do another roll for my gun.
Okay.
And then I will tell you what they both are. So the general one is a 16, and my one is a 19.
Okay. Well, your one definitely hits, and Tides are now active. Thank you for making me aware of that.
Might want to think about the alchemist's fire at this point.
So
Are we close enough to throw it?
16 was that?
We're coming up.
Yeah, we're
yeah,
you're now
16.
solidly within 600 feet.
I'll
So
throw it 600 feet.
Yeah, no one can do that.
so 16. The Charlie's Regret is right in front of me. It's just covered in dice, which is why I didn't notice. Okay, yeah, that'll do it, but the counter-strike happens as well. The Charlie's Regret takes 36 points of damage, which is enough to put it down to... Lucky sons of bitches, 252.
Oh.
It is just a smidge over half damage.
So infuriating.
Unfortunately,
I
11
literally
crew
can't even-
members are taken out of commission.
Good,
taking it down to
fuckers.
70. Which is bad news. But the 6 out of the 8 shots from the broadside hit the fawn.
What does that mean?
It means 216 points of damage to the fawn.
What is the fawn? That's what I'm asking. What it means.
The fawn is the name of the other ship.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, sorry. So that's 216 points of damage to the other ship, which is now 108 hit points, successfully taking it under 25%. And yeah, with that, one of the shots has taken out the mast as well, which just...
It's dead in the water.
This has now suffered so much damage. Yeah, it is just flat out dead in the water.
Stationary. Wow.
I
mean, what do we do here? Do we literally, like, genuine privateer question? Do we keep shooting it, or do we want it to stay above water so that we can steal shit?
That's essentially the idea.
Like,
Although what we're gonna perhaps want to do then is, if it's stationary, get round the back of it where they can't shoot back at us.
At this point, I'm going to say, like, when I say it's stationary, I mean that, yeah, and you guys do that, but quite a few of the cannons have been put out of commission as well. I should actually see how many of the crew just got killed by that whilst you're doing this.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Because we're going to have to at
so
some
that'd be
point.
15 more crewmen out.
Oh my god, how many is that altogether?
So that's you've killed 41 of their crew, although
Wow.
they have successfully killed 51 of yours.
Holy shit, how many did we have?
121. You got
Fucking
you got
hell.
unlucky in the crew killing checks.
That's nearly like half the crew.
Yeah,
Shit.
it's a rough time for the Regret, and that is going to impact the number of fighters. So I'm going to ask you, as the Regret is sailing round the back to be out of view of the broadsides, and their call rounds down the ship. All up! Get ready for boarding! Okay, so you have about a minute to make any preparations you want to make before combat, before you get up on deck and boarding begins.
I would like to cast Mage Armor, please.
Okay!
I would like to look amazing, please. So I'm gonna climb up the rigging, throw my arms out wide, and go, "Look at me, bitches!" And I'm gonna do my College of Glamour Mantle of Inspiration thingy and give myself a wondrous appearance. And you guys get D6 temporary hit points.
Nice.
Yay!
Actually, it just says creatures of my choice within 60 feet. So I guess
Oh, okay.
lots of
Everyone.
people.
All right.
do.
You want? In that case, you can do this when the Marine, like those of you who are planning to go up and do the fighting, assemble.
Yeah. I'm gonna do
Okay,
that.
so speaking of which, so originally there were 40 members of the crew willing to fight. The crew has gone down from... So there's just a little over half of those left, proportionally speaking. So, yeah, I'm going to say 25 excluding you.
Cool.
So 20...
And I'll roll a d6, I guess, so that you
Yeah.
all know how many you've got. Oh, it's like 3. That's not very good. Oh, no, sorry, it's just 5. It's just 5 temporary hit points.
Okay,
it's not a
just
d6.
just to 5 temporary
So
hits.
it's
That's
just-
fine.
it's
That
inspiration that's a
that does
D6,
actually
that's
make a
just 5,
difference
yeah.
to these guys because it'll help them survive.
Whoa, surviving.
Excellent.
And what sort of distance is this are we gonna be at when we start?
They're preparing as you move in. I'm going to say the crew, the ship will actually be closing in from from 600 feet away during the first round, during the first few rounds of combat. So, depending, like you guys can take cover if you want, and only come up at a certain distance in. But the ship will be getting closer to the static ship, and people will be exchanging fire via muskets during that time.
I'm assuming it's a bit late for opium at this point.
Yeah.
I thought so.
Short rest. Opium is
Cool.
opium
No,
time.
I'm having trouble with how long everything takes.
Yes, of course.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Like we were in hours and then we were in minutes. I'm like, are we still in hours? Like,
Yeah, it's a fair point.
Yeah.
I guess, for next time, opium is to do... take opium during the
I
opium.
know opium's like an hour. I just didn't know if it would take us that long to get
section.
over. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, this is in the next minute. So, as you make your way up to the deck, taking cover, along the like the gunnel of the ship, use it as you prepare. As the ship is coming in, you can see crew members are preparing grappling hooks, ready to bring the ships together so that people can leap across onto the other ship. You can spy something in the very weak evening light. Is actually a fair point. There is. Members of the crew are holding lanterns. Members of the enemy crew are holding lanterns as well. Ooh. So it's at night. The sky is overcast. There is still rain just pouring down, covering both decks. So the whole thing is by lamplight.
It looks great.
And you, Captain Brandy, the various members of the Regret, including people like Seaman Saltz and First Mate Vieg, are all getting ready, preparing to board. Those of you that have muskets have them ready as well.
Important question about that. If it's raining, are the muskets wet?
The muskets are wet. This is the rule I was going to go for on this. So we are in additional chance of misfire time.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna. So the rule on this one is.
So they're not wet enough to not work.
They're not wet enough to not work. So misfires on 3.
Okay,
so
3
on
and
a
under.
natural 3, we with this level of rain, your weapons, your firearms will misfire.
Cool.
Whether that's they just stop working for the rest of the fight, or they explode, or whatever. Let's say 1, 2, 3, stop. 4, 5, break, and 6, bang. Cool, got that set. There's 25 of you plus the 3 of you, so I guess 28 in total. Looking over at the other ship, so they've taken a fair bit of damage as well. I'm going to say like a good quarter, up to a quarter of their crew are out. So, although they have some crew fighting, it looks like there are a total of 35 fighters on their side.
Mm-hmm. How close are we?
As I say, it's starting at 600 feet, but by the time you get up, it's more like 400 feet, and it's pulling closer by 60 feet every round. So essentially, although, and by this point, musket fire has already started to be exchanged, but you guys can get pretty much total cover on the gunwale at this point.
Yeah, how close do I need to be to throw something?
Honestly, like the Alchemist's Fire, you want to do that at the last moment.
Yeah, that's what I was
just
thinking.
as the ships
Are
about to connect. Yeah. But you could. That is certainly a thing you can do. So, go on.
You know what we could do with right now? We could. It's not his fight at all, but we could get Fighty up here.
Oh, Fighty's up there. I realised I forgot to mention this, but as you mentioned this, Fighty swigging from a bottle of one of his expensive bottles of brandy, which he shoves into his pocket.
Fighty.
Yes, because
Turns up,
fighty.
hasn't been part of the range fight or anything. It's not really his business, but he picks up, and you can see he has in one hand his bare-headed cane. In the other hand, he has what looks like a pair of tailor's shears.
Oh god, that's horrifying.
Right, I heard there was a bit of a scrap.
Yeah. Are you any good at fighting on ships? Does that affect?
I'll find out.
Right. Good.
Okay. So yeah, looking. I'm going to ask all of you to make. Oh, it's wet and rainy and difficult. So all of you to make an insight check with disadvantage, please.
So that was really good.
That's a 4.
That's an 18. I rolled an 18 and 20.
Celestia, aided by your drowned night vision, although you don't strictly need it because of the lamplight, you notice that the crew of the fighters aboard the Fawn seem to be in two distinct camps. The majority of them are about 25 what seem to be members of the crew who have just grabbed muskets or whatever weapons they can get hold of, even to the level of like a length of 2 before, to fight off these attackers. They don't seem to be very confident fighters from the look of them. And amongst them is the captain that you saw before, the sort of middle-aged human fellow, brown hair, stubbly beard, kind of overweight, and he's clutching onto a musket. The other group is a group of 11 of what appear at first glance to be ordinary crewmen. They're just wearing, sailor's garb. All of them are armed with muskets or muskets and swords. They seem to be banding together as a coherent block. All of them are orcish or half orcish, and you notice that they are clustered around a young sort of female orc who's kind of wearing a long coat against the rain, has blue-grey skin, blue eyes, black tresses of hair. Is kind of so she's wearing a short sort of military-esque jacket and riding trousers, and this one appears to have two pistols, one each in a holster, and also at a hip a small sword. For those of you not familiar with 18th century fencing weapons, the small sword is aptly named. It's sort of descended from the rapier. It is a very small. It's like 30 inches probably in length. It's relatively small weapon. It is very light. It only has only the very tip of it is a cutting edge. In the hands of an amateur, it's not particularly dangerous. In the hands of a skilled fencer, it is lightning quick.
Terrifying, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weapon that's built,
cool.
that's designed to be used quickly. It was kind of the epitome in our world of French dueling sort of.
Yeah, it's a
tradition.
dueling weapon.
Yeah. So I've seen both where the captain is and where she is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to shout out generally, like near Captain Brandy and anyone else who can hear. Just the important lady's over there, in between all those meathead orcs on that side, and I can see the captain. He's right there.
The half-orcish Captain Brandy raises an eyebrow and says, "Right." Yes. You.
Ooh, I'm gonna get really hurt for this one day, aren't I?
Yes.
And says,
You remember what I said?
I don't
before
say that
about
in
the captain's
character.
daughter?
Okay.
Well, you say Captain Brandy doesn't have one, so I don't know what you're on about.
Okay, as the crew, the ship is pulling into position, at what distance do you guys want to start acting?
I mean, As soon as we can, I guess. But like,
what range, or do you guys want to start firing at? For pistol, the nicer pistols you're using is 30-foot minimum range, 90-foot disadvantage range. Muskets and carbines, it's 80-foot without, 320 with. So that's actually the point at which everyone will start exchanging fire.
Okay.
So I guess, once you're at 300 feet in, I can start the counter and you guys can start fighting if you want. So at that point, if that's the level you want to engage at. So, can I ask you all to roll initiative, please?
Yeah. I have a question.
Yes.
We're on a ship. Are there like spare carbines or muskets or anything that are better range than my gun?
Actually, yes, because you're not proficient in the use of a musket, so you don't get to apply your proficiency bonus. But for some of the crew who didn't make it,
until we're at 90 feet.
Yeah, for the crew who didn't, because there are some of the crew who didn't make it because of the cannon shots, you can pick up one of their guns.
Oh, I'm gonna nick a carbine off a dead man.
So you can use your dexterity, but not your proficiency bonus during.
Okay, so it's just like straight dex.
So the musket fires disadvantage at 320 feet, normal at 80, and does 2d6 percussive damage. Mm-hmm. Unlike the carbine, you must be at least kneeling to reload.
Yeah, is it 2d6 plus anything or just 2d6?
2d6 plus your dexterity.
Okay, plus dex.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you all to roll initiative then, please. So
I got
you
9.
already did. Okay. So Celestia.
12.
17.
Oh, okay. Cool. 12. Scamp 17. Okay, one moment. I'll roll for. Okay, so Brandy got that. That's fair enough. Okay, and then for the enemy. So. Call them that. They're fighting off in the distance, so it's not too much of a worry. And for this lady, we'll call. Oh shit! Yeah. Okay. One moment. Sorry, rolling my last couple of initiatives here.
There are a lot of people. It's cool.
Yeah, I'm rolling for groups, but there's a couple of special.
I'm assuming you're not going to roll like
no.
100.
There's a couple of special contenders I need to be able to prep for. Okay. So so as you enter the 300-foot range, you can see that most of the enemy have taken up positions again, giving themselves. I'm going to say everyone has half cover, firing from the gunwales because you're covering the lower part of you. Corzin, even you have half cover because you have to get up to be able to fire.
Mechanically, how many points is half cover?
2 extra AC, and to dex saves as well. Okay, so I'm going to see whether she picks a random target or any of you. Oh, okay. That's bad news, which means Corzin, sighting a target pretty much at random. You see one of the orcs in the more experienced crew, an old-looking orc with grey skin and white hair. And actually, interestingly, a scar along the edge of their throat levels their musket at you and fires. So this is with disadvantage. Actually, quite a lot. Wow, 2 14s in a row.
That's weird.
So he
Near miss.
no, with a plus. Oh, actually, no. That's a 16 to hit. I'm afraid I didn't add.
Okay, no, that.
Okay.
It nearly missed, but
nearly,
not quite.
Yeah, it nearly missed.
Even with the cover.
Oh, with cover.
Oh, actually, yeah, with the cover.
Okay, yeah,
with the cover, it doesn't hit.
Yeah, the musket ball smacks against the gunwale.
Well remembered.
Well remembered. Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
That is merely one of a whole exchange of fire between the two ships. That makes it Scamp next. You're still at 300 feet away.
There's nothing I can do at 300 feet.
Okay, that's fine. Which makes a difference there as well. That's fine. Okay. Brandy is firing back. the enemy are firing back as well. I'm gonna pick 3 at random who will take shots with disadvantage at you guys because they're basically shooting at anyone they can manage. So against Corzin, no. Scamp, no.
I'm completely.
Oh yeah, you're just
I'm not
completely out there.
I can't do anything, so I'm going to duck right
That's
down.
all right. There is one fellow who's going to fire at Celestia with your current cover. Does a 16 hit you on with
Yes,
this?
it does.
Oh, I'm afraid. Okay.
Squishy bard.
You take 9 points of damage from a stray musket shot.
Oh, I'm so squishy.
Okay, that
I'm alright though, it's not
does
dire.
make it Corzin's go though.
Alright. Corzin is going to pop up from behind the gunwale and try and return the favour to that orc.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Oh, that's a 14?
Oh, that hits. Roll damage.
Nice! Alright. Alright, that's 13 percussive damage.
Sizer! You strike him heavily in the shoulder and he ducks down behind the gunwale.
Ramrodding the next shot!
Yeah. Okay, so that makes it Celestia's turn next.
I'm gonna try and did I see which one shot me?
Yeah, you can see the fellow in question.
I'm gonna try and shoot that guy because fuck him, that's why.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. So that is disadvantage. Oh no. That's like a 5. No, that's not gonna hit.
Okay, no.
Oh, did you say natural 3 was a misfire?
Natural 3 is a misfire.
That's a natural 3.
Okay, so the gun jams. That musket is now out of commission.
Throw it over my shoulder and go, for fuck's sake, and then just...
roll a luck check to see if... Actually, no, roll a quick perception check, see if there's any other discarded muskets you could try and pick up.
Oh, I'm so perceptive. Right, here we go. That would be an 8.
No,
Fuck's sake!
all out of muskets.
Ah!
Everyone else has grabbed one. At least there's none within range. Okay, the ship is now 240 feet. The ships are now 240 feet away. They are getting closer. Check. Nope, doesn't fire at any of you. Scamp, do you want to do anything on this round? You just keep them covered?
I guess I'm keeping cover because I don't have anything that's ranged.
That's right. Exchanges continue with gunfire. Corzin, you can take another shot if you want.
Will do. Oh yeah, that's an unnatural 20.
Ooh, nice.
Same guy.
With disadvantage?
Oh, okay. Okay. I had an unnatural 20 and I just rolled a natural 20.
Oh.
But I hit him, presumably.
Yeah, he
with
actually
that.
comes up to fire at you again, and this time you manage to strike him dead on. Roll your attack roll.
That's 8 percussive.
Nice. With the so nicely done. Again, he curses in Osirian and goes back down to desperately ramrod the next shot. Okay, so that's some shots go at Celestia and you. They miss. Celestia.
I can't do
You're out of
anything.
range, so
Yeah.
okay. I'm going to close quickly then. Can anyone except Corzin do anything at 180 feet?
No.
Okay, Corzin, you're the only one relevant, so take a shot, and a shot will be taken at you. The other two are just hiding for the moment.
Disadvantage
Yep.
still? Bollocks. 13. No. That was a 9, so it's 15.
Okay, yeah, these guys aren't actually that heavily armoured. They're relying a lot on cover, but even with that hits the old one, the old orc who tries to shoot you again and misses
I
again.
think you're just having a feud with this one orc in this battle full of 100 people. You're just like, this one orc, he must die.
No, he shot at me first.
He started it.
Okay, roll.
Also, from a tactical point of view, he's obviously the more heavily trained guy. You got to take them out first.
Yeah.
Nah, fair.
Okay, rolling damage.
Roll damage.
7 percussive.
Okay, yeah, he goes down and yeah. Okay, so that's him out of the way. Okay, we are now at 120 feet.
Oh, is he dead?
No, he has gone straight down. He has gone down again to Ramrod. You've shot him. He's got 3 shots. He's still somehow tanking it because this is an old motherfucker. But yeah, he's looking pretty injured.
There's old orcs and there's fast orcs, but there are no fast old orcs.
Okay. So Scamp, can you act at 120 feet?
Yes.
Excellent. I need to check something because I think you're not the only person who can, but that means it's your go.
Okay. I guess I'll firebolt. Not much else I can do. Just pick anyone I can see.
Make a luck check.
Really. 6.
Okay, you pick a guy who seems worthwhile. Just one of the crew members. Make your attack roll.
12.
Against that ordinary crew member. No, he's got a. Oh wait, no. Yeah, his armor class is 10 normally, and even with the protection of the gunwale, that hits. Roll damage.
Yay.
6.
Okay, you heavily burn this poor crew member.
I'm sorry.
You are successfully achieving your role in this bloodthirsty combat. Okay, Brandy fires a shot from his musket, and you see him take the eye out of one of the ordinary crew members as well. He is down. Okay, let's finally hit initiative count 13 when we are within 150 feet of range. One of the seemingly ordinary crew members seems to lock eyes with you for a moment at the sight of the fireball. No, with you, Scamp. Sorry, at the sight of the fire.
You made eye contact with the microphone, and I didn't know
Oh
what
yeah,
one
sorry,
of you
no.
were talking
with
to.
you,
I'm
I
sorry.
just said Scamp. Locks eyes with you, Scamp. At the moment you flash the fire, and this what you recognise is just this small halfling female with a short mop of blonde hair and spectacles, actually, along with the sailor's clothes. Makes a gesture with her hands and points at the part of the ship where you all are taking cover. A tiny bead of orange light flashes out of her hand and explodes. Everyone needs to make a dex save, please.
And this is with +2 because cover.
Yeah, +2 because cover. This is a fireball.
Oh,
Shit.
Oh, a dex save, actually.
Also 10. No, not 10. 12.
12.
Sorry, my
10,
maths failed.
And what?
That's 15.
Okay. Corzin, you're the only one who makes the save. Which is bad news for the crew members as well. So, this is...
The regret is taking a fucking pounding in this fight.
Oh,
we are
yeah.
surrounded by dead people right now.
That's 5, 6. This is where... I'm really glad that the ship's healer, the ship's doctor managed to save on this one.
Oh, guys, there's a lot of D6s coming out.
Oh wait, 12 was the lowest you got. That was
Yeah.
it was the second lowest, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. The gunwell only adds +2, as I said, so it wouldn't help.
Enough dice to make me permadead here.
Okay, so that's 11.
They rolled high, guys.
Yeah, they did. Okay, so that's 15, so 20. Right. So, Celestia, what's your current hit points?
My current hit points are 10. My full hit points are 19.
Okay. You are out.
I'm not dead, am I?
You're not dead out by
Good.
all of 2 hit points.
Wow.
Oh, fuck.
I might be unconscious then.
So, yeah, that's...
Wait, maths.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's
How many
I
points
might be
was that?
alright.
27 points.
20.
27 points of fire damage to Scamp.
Actually, no, that's not near my permadead.
It would have needed 29 to permadead you, because it needs to do as much damage as you have left, plus your entire hit.
No, it's double
double
your
your
actual
entire-
hit points for you to be permadead.
Oh, I thought it was
No,
enough
it's
to carry
double
you
your
through
actual full hit points.
your full hit points.
You've got to get to minus your full for it to be permadead.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, I thought the idea was that you needed to receive, like, if you got 19, you needed to receive 38 hit points in
Yeah.
one shot. Oh, no, you're fine.
Yeah, so...
No, because I...
That's not a thing.
That's not a thing, because it was...
No, you're thinking that it's the current hit points, it's the full. So, yeah,
Okay,
it's
20.
all good.
Yeah, okay. So that was...
I mean, it's still shit, don't get
Is
me
that
wrong.
27?
Like,
Yeah, no, it's...
Uh,
And I've got no healing now.
yeah, sorry.
Because I
No.
used it on a
like
random person.
several things are broken on Celestia right now. Like, that is what is happening.
Yeah, that's actually... Yeah, that's particularly good, because I actually miscounted one of my 6s. So, yeah, so... Okay, yeah, so that's fine. So 27 points of fire damage. Scamp, you therefore take halved to 13 points of fire damage, because you're resistant to fire, which is also what Corzin takes.
Right.
Are you two still up?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, you go down. So Celestia, you see Celestia go down. And
Looking bad.
I'm just going to roll 3d10 and see what this comes up with, because that's... Whew. Okay, and yeah, that's like all over half of the Regrets crew have gone down.
Jesus.
Oh,
Are they
wow.
dead? Or like...
Burning, like they are out of commission one way or another. That's that's
Jumping into the water.
yeah,
you know,
jumping into the water, trying unconscious.
Yeah.
Some dead.
Yeah, there's 10 members of the Regret left.
Holy shit.
Left still fighting. Brandy.
10 out of 120.
No, out of the 25 fighting.
Oh,
The
fucking hell, I was
non-fighting
gonna
crew
say.
members are either on the rigging or down, or taking cover. Yeah,
God,
no,
when
because
will that happen? Fucking
not
hell.
all of the crew actually fight in these fights. They're not willing to.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
a lot of them
totally.
are just sailors.
Yeah.
They still get a share, but anyone fighting gets a double share.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Is the idea. So a lot of those guys are down. Additionally, Brandy... Okay, Brandy took half damage on that, which is good. So he only took 13. So Brandy is actually up and pretty damn well. He's got 45 hit points left.
Brandy's hardcore.
Yeah, Brandy is
Yeah.
Bloody hell, Brandon.
hid behind someone else.
He's got more than twice my hit points.
Vig is up, but not happy about it. And yeah,
Do not piss off Uncle Vig, though.
yeah. Fighty's up as well.
I was gonna say, what happened to Fighty?
Fighty's fine, and that's enough to kickstart the rage.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Fighty is now basically resistant to all damage except psychic for the remainder of the fight. He's not. This is going to be interesting. Okay, so next up is Corzin.
Right. Okay. Can I get to Celestia?
Oh yeah,
from
you
where
guys
I am?
are all pretty close to each other.
I
which-
assume that we were like next to each other
yeah,
taking cover.
hence why the fireball hit so many people.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna try and
The ship also
crawl
takes
along the
27
deck.
damage. Yep.
I'm gonna crawl along the deck, reach out, just grab her ankle, and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay. Roll healing.
Okay, so that's a D8 plus
Oh, the
4.
yeah.
Just the modifier.
Oh, just the mother. That's Wisdom. Okay, so plus 2.
Yeah, D8 plus 2. Ooh. The regret is on 198 hit points because it's vulnerable to fire.
You regain 7 hit points, Celestia.
Thank you.
Not
I wake up and go, oh, Ariadne, his teeth, that hurt. Ow. Ow.
Yeah, the as this is happening, some of the non-combatant crew members are desperately running to put out fires. Okay, that makes it. The mercenaries are going to fire against anyone who's above the gunwale. Which Celestia got knocked down, but Scamp and Corzin can.
I imagine I haven't moved from being knocked down. I'm just still there.
Yeah.
Just a quick rules thing. I looked at instant death just to double check, but you're right. It's if the remaining hit points is your max.
I thought I was right. It still didn't. It still didn't kill you outright.
Still wasn't enough, but
it nearly did.
That's so few that I have right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not being funny. That's horrid.
That's horrifying.
If we have things like fireballs, I'm going to die. And
Yeah.
it's fine.
The good news is you have now identified the mage.
Yep. Yeah. Remember that that alchemist's fire we were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
We're not close enough.
Although in the next round you definitely will be, because you are going to be within pistol range. Okay.
Pistol range means throwing range, yeah?
Also throwing range, yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so Celestia, you are up. You're still 120 feet away, but you are up.
Okay, so I can't throw anything at her.
You can't throw anything at anything
I can't
right now,
do
but
anything
if you
at
want to
120
heal
feet,
yourself
so-
or anything. Okay,
Okay, I'm going to heal myself. Yeah,
Okay.
not a bad shout. I'm going to kick my leg up and ding my xylophone and heal myself a little bit.
Yeah. By the way, no one manages to hit Scamp or Corzin during the exchange.
Good. I was thinking he's flat on the deck,
That's pretty good.
and a quite small target anyway.
I'm going to roll a morale check for the. Okay, yeah. With the damage they've just taken, you can see now some of the members of the Regret are looking like they're starting to have second thoughts, but still inspired from the chanties earlier. Captain Brandy kind of stares them all down, like, "There's no way to go from here, lads and lasses, except forwards. It's do or die." The men and women sort of swallow and sit and steady their nerves. Okay. It is now. We're now 60 feet from on the next round. We're gonna hit where the boarding. The true boarding starts. Okay. At this point, the female orc is going to whip up her pistols and take 2 shots at Captain Brandy. With disadvantage. That was a lucky disadvantage. One of them actually seems to blows itself out. You see her go, "Sizer!" She throws it to one side and grabs a pistol from someone else to replace from one of her fellow orcs for next round, but neither of those hit. Okay, Scamp.
Right, what distance are
60
we
feet.
from the orc and the little
From the
not
the
the
halfling.
halfling.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like everyone's on the edge of the ship, taking cover on both sides.
Okay, I'm going to try to see if this works. New spells! This is fun! So I am going to twin a phantasmal force.
Ooh. Okay.
This could be fun.
I create an illusion in the minds of the creature I can see.
Nice.
I'm going to go for the halfling, even though this is an intelligence save, but I just really don't want it attacking. And the orc. And I'm going to make an image. Yeah, the female orc. And make the image of an ally. In the case of the orcs, one of the orcs around her, and the halfling, one of the people next to her, turning on them and attacking.
Oh, nice. Okay, so an intelligence saving throw from both of them.
Yeah.
Alright, so halfling's going to make an intelligence save. That was a natural 3.
Yes. Yeah, she's the one we need to not be good at stuff.
Okay, and Greta's going to make one as well. No, that was a natural 7. Both of those fail. So, okay, you created a phantasmal object which goes in them. So while the target's affected by the spell, it treats the phantasm as if it was real. It's so convinced of the phantasm's reality, it can even take damage. So each round on your turn, it deals 1d6 psychic damage. Nice. And okay, it can. Okay, so it can't. All right. So in order to realise that it's an illusion, they have to take an action to make an investigation check.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so can you roll 1d6 psychic damage twice, please?
2.
Okay. So
Both times.
Oh, okay, still that's a bit of damage from both, and you see both of them sort of sort of reacting and suddenly shaking away as they are staring at something no one else can see. Both of them seem to be looking in shock and frustration at a betrayer. Okay, that makes it Brandy's turn. Brandy's going to... we're now within musket carbine normal range.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to fire back on the orc. That is a 9 plus 5. No, not enough. She ducks quickly behind cover. That makes it the mage's turn. Okay. The mage is going to go ahead and flick his. She flicks her hand, and you watch as a long blade composed of shadows pulls out at the end of it, and she immediately slashes air. She hits the air. Well, I think that's
This is a great spell. Love it.
Okay, so this is damage being appropriate. Okay, I think that's enough for her on her next turn to be able to twig whether or not this is like to make an investigation check to see whether that's real, because she has actually attempted.
But that will take the turn.
But yeah, that will take a turn. So she's like, ah! What?
Hang on.
Okay.
I'm getting kind of flashbacks of Last Jedi in my mind.
Yes.
Yeah, Corzin.
Right. Okay. Where is she in relation to the group of orcs?
Right in the centre of them. So.
Perfect. All right. From their point of view, they are going to see the top of Corzin's tricorn come up, and he is carrying a different weapon. He has loaded his blunderbuss with grape shot.
I'm gonna say I'm sorry. The grape shot with the blunderbuss, unless I state it differently, is it's a 15-foot cone. So you need to wait until the next round to use the blunderbuss on them, unless it's the slug shot.
Okay,
but that's all right.
In which case, he still has bombs. Is it?
Oh yeah, you are within bomb range.
God,
You can throw them.
Yeah, you can throw bombs.
Yes.
Make a.
Right.
You don't need to make an attack. They need to make dex saves. So.
Your grenade noise is so on point, mate. Like, I love it. It's so good.
I could sort of see it in my
Me
head.
too.
I've got the teeth for it, obviously.
What's the DC on that? 12.
That's a DC 12 dex saving throw for half damage.
Okay.
So I'll roll
So
the 3d6.
I'm going to say that hits between three ordinary orcs and her. She makes it, as you discover she's surprisingly dexterous. 2 of the orcs don't make it, so roll damage, and it's half for those 2, full for her. Sorry, half for her, and full for one guy. Full for 2 guys.
Bollocks, I rolled 2 1s, that's
Fuck's
a 5.
sake, man.
Oh,
That is disappointing. For
that
a
is
grenade.
disappointing.
Yeah.
But it sort of...
That pains me slightly.
Very upsetting.
Oh. Yeah, she takes 2
But
points of
next
damage.
round, guys.
Next round!
It's gonna be really
Next
good.
round, you get to use the deck clearer.
So I'm seeing what this grape shot does.
Okay,
It's gonna be
so that's time for time for exchange of fire. So now we're within range. Everyone who is up and ready to fight gets an attack against them.
How
So
many bombs do we have left? Like 4?
you have, from memory, you have 3. You used 6. You've got 3 normal ones left, and then that one monster you made.
Okay, right, yeah.
There's the 3, the tri-bomb. Okay, so 1 against Scamp, Nope, that misses. Against Corzin, that's a no. That was that is your armor class. that is your armor class if you're not taking cover, so you're fine.
Yeah, which I am.
And the one against Celestia misses as well. Celestia, it's your go.
I'd like to throw some alchemist fire into the mage's face.
Oh, okay. Make a ranged attack roll with its dexterity based. I'm going to call this.
Okay, so am I proficient in throwing things?
You are proficient in throwing.
Okay, good. So dex plus proficiency. Yeah. I was like, I have no idea how this works. Okay.
Oh, even if this doesn't ignite, it's...
So that is a 15.
Ooh, that is his armor class with mage
Yay!
armor. So excellent. That does hit.
I thought she was a girl.
Sorry, hers. My bad. She is a girl. I don't know why I keep saying.
I think it's because you're talking about a male orc, like a sentence beforehand.
A sentence
That's what it is.
Okay, so the alchemist's fire.
Is it any good?
It's an interesting one, yeah, because
I assume there's some splash as well.
Yeah, there's not that much splash. There's only a small flask, but she's now on fire. So to start with, it's not that much to start with. Roll 1d4 fire damage.
Okay. Oh, is it going to be a proper, napalm, this continues?
But it continues until she can take an action to put it out.
She's also trying to take an action to make an investigation check.
Yeah.
So, okay, just 1d4,
She's super
nothing
busy,
else.
guys.
Yeah.
That is a 3.
Okay. Takes 3 points of fire damage. As her clothes now ignite from the flames.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, she's now on fire and facing off against an illusory opponent. She has plenty to distract her from more fireballs at this point. She does actually have a thing she can do, but it will still consume an action, so that's fine for her. Okay. Crunch! The two ships make contact as we are ready to enter what is effectively melee for now. And yeah, it's melee. It's melee or hanging back and trying to do close fire time. Okay, that means that we've not learned her name, so yeah, actually never mind. So the female orc is going to draw her pistols, and who's been the most dangerous up to this point? Still the captain. Okay,
Definitely none of us.
Yeah.
Come
being
on.
attacked by one of her allies.
Oh, that's true. She is. So she's going to fire one shot against her illusory ally. No, which would have missed, so she might not realise that's actually happening. And the other shot will be against Brandy. Gott in Himmel! Okay, so the other pistol has gone now, so she's down to one pistol and her small sword. She's not doing well with the misfires.
That is really unlucky.
Yeah, it really
She's
is.
rolled some really bad shit. Don't get me wrong, we have too, but she's had a really bad time of it.
Yeah, it's been a rough time. Yeah. Okay, so that makes it Scamp's go.
Okay, I'm gonna twin a chromatic orb since we're within.
Yeah.
Let's go for the same two again. Also psychic damage on my turn.
Shit! Yep. Do 1d6 for each of them, please.
It's still going. That's 2 for one of them. And 6 for the
Woo!
second one. So
okay, so Greta, I just did it in order. I've got them written down. So Greta is kind of shrugging and trying to duck away from these attacks. The mage acts as if she's just been punched in the jaw. Yeah. So okay. So chromatic orb time.
So I'm gonna second level twin it.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Let's get rid of that mage. Oh, that is it's a 14.
It's a 14. That misses. And the other one is against?
The other one against the orc again.
Okay, go for it.
Because I can't double this. I can't send two of the same person. Oh well, that's a 26.
What damage type is this?
I was gonna go for fire.
Nice.
Because I thought I might as well
roll.
join in.
What is that going to do to the napalm?
Just for fun, by the way.
Yeah,
I have questions.
Just for fun, by the way, roll me another attack roll for that first chromatic orb. I want to see whether it catches any of the ship as well.
Okay, another 14.
Okay, that is the ship's armor class. So it does. So roll damage, and I just want to see how much more damage it did to the fawn.
Okay, so that is 4d8.
Holy shit.
That is 16
32.
to the ship.
Yep.
And then the one for the orc lady. Oh, that is really good. That is 25.
Holy shit. Yes.
Okay.
I rolled an 8, 2 7s, and a 3.
I mean, that's really fucking good.
Okay.
That's insane.
Yeah, threat assessment has changed there for her.
Amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Also,
Don't attack me. I've got a concentration spell up.
she looks kind of to one side at the attacking illusory figure, and then to you. She seems to have she can deal with traitors later. Okay, so Brandy's gonna take a shot at her. Actually, that's a 4. Nope, misses. Okay, the mage. Oh god, who is? Okay, I've got to try and decide this. I'm gonna check this. Okay, 11 to 20 tries to put the fire out.
Oh god, she has a lot going on right now.
4 to 10 investigates the illusion. 1 to 3 tries to take out the other mage. Okay, just desperate. You see as she weaves her hands quickly. And a flurry of magic happens around her, which snuffs out all of the fire. Aww. She has the control flames cantrip, which is very useful on board a ship.
Very upsetting. I mean, it's a really intelligent cantrip to have.
Yeah, but that does use up her action. So
and she's still being stabbed.
By an imaginary friend.
Well, we can definitely make things worse for her soon.
Yeah. Okay, Corzin.
Okay. Corzin is going to rise up above the gun and go, say hello to my little friend.
Okay, so what is so your current proficiency bonus is 2. What is your current dexterity bonus?
My dex bonus is +4.
Okay, so that means the dex save they need to make is a 14. So that's 1 for the orc woman, and I'm going to say because you're going right. Okay, so there's one in front of her. So there's 1 in front of her. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that you're hitting. So 5 of these guys and her. I'll just roll for her first. Nope. And then these guys in turn. 1. Nope. Nope. Yes. Oh, wait. Nope. Actually, sorry.
Ooh,
nope. And yes. Okay. Roll 3d6, then 2d6, then 1d6. Actually, no. Roll 1d6, and then and then add a d6 each time, and I'll do it that way.
Okay.
It's probably easier. Yeah.
Yep.
5.
Okay. The next one.
Second d6. 4.
9 total.
Third d6.
Yep.
2.
Okay.
11 total then.
Okay, the guy right in front of you is blasted 10 feet away.
Wow.
By the impact. Into the orcs behind. 2 of the orcs behind stumble back. The ones at the very back are sort of but it's enough to knock the pistol wielding orc straight down.
Nice.
She is unconscious. Or at least barely conscious.
The orc or the mage?
The orc. The mage is elsewhere.
Okay.
And you can see...
And it's the fancy lady orc.
Yeah, the fancy lady orc.
Cool.
At this point, you see the old orc from before reach down, pick up her small sword. Actually, no, he's got a musket. Sort of levels a musket forward and stands protectively over her body.
Mm-hmm.
She.
How many of them did I actually just take out?
You took out, I'm going to say with the cockfight they've already received, you took out her and 3 more of the rough-looking orcs. Because they've already they've exchanged fire up to this point.
I was going to say, the guy at the front was probably just jibbed.
Yeah, he was one of the ones that, yeah. I'm going to... This is time for a morale check, actually, for them. Okay. They're not great, but they're going to protect the... for now, they're going to keep protecting the one... the lady orc. It seems. So that was 3 of them went out. The male orc was already standing. Okay, so there's 6 of those guys still fighting. Okay, so that makes it their go.
Oh no!
Yeah, so they've seen what's happened. I'm going to say the crew of the ship are fighting the crew of your ship. They're a bit busy. But the orcs are going to be tactical about this. The male orc kind of goes, You fire! You fire on the mage! You take out the blunderbuss, Vilda! So 3.
Don't fire on the mage.
3 shots against the mage.
Do I still have cover?
You still have cover. So that's an 18 though for the first one.
That'll hit.
Yeah. For the second one, that's a 16.
That won't hit if I've got cover.
Okay. And the third one also won't hit. Okay. You do take 6 points of musket damage.
And I do a concentration check, which
Yes.
I make.
Okay.
Hey. Was it 6?
6, yeah. That's fine.
Oh boy.
Okay. And then against Corzin, 15. Yeah, that one hits. That was a 21, and no.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess you only popped your head up over to Blunderbuss. You still got the cover, but the one that hit. So you take...
How much is that?
6 points of musket damage.
Okay.
Okay. That makes it Celestia's go.
Okay. The mage is still up, isn't she?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna lean ever so slightly over the deck, like just pop my head over, and I'm gonna very quietly look at the mage and sort of whisper behind my hand and go, "You are a useless waste of skin, and you should give up now." And I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers on her at 2nd level.
Okay. This is this a save?
It is a Wisdom save. Yeah.
Okay. No, that was a natural 17. Is there any effect on failure?
Yes, half damage.
Okay, nice. Roll damage.
Okay.
She kind of seems to hear your whisper, but shrugs it off. She's now she's now becoming convinced that this is all illusions around her.
Cool, but she does still take half of this,
Okay,
so I'm gonna do it. So that is kind of bollocks, actually. Yeah, so that's 11. So that's
11 halves
half
to
to 5.
Okay, still takes 5 points of damage though.
Waste of a 2nd level spell, mate.
Got lucky. Okay, top of the round, the orc is unconscious. So, Scamp.
Okay, so that's another d6 damage to the mage.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's another 2.
Yep.
Every time.
Okay, just slowly wearing this mage down.
Playing the long game here with this mage.
Yeah.
We're all like getting in loads of really small hits.
So I'll do a level 1 chromatic orb.
Okay.
Just want her to die so badly.
Oh, that's a 17.
That hits, and I'm also, but I'll invoke something in a moment because I should have done this last time, but it's all right. Roll damage.
I'm gonna go for something other than. I'll go for thunder damage.
Okay.
So I saw her get rid of flames. So.
Go for it.
It's only 3d8 this time. Oh, that's awful. 6.
Okay. Although her
Nice,
ears
rubbish
bleed a
on
little, it's less
3d8.
effective than you might have thought. However, I'd like you to roll a d100, please.
Ah!
Because it's about time I get rid of that.
Oh, 75.
75.
We haven't had that one, have we?
Okay,
We've
so
had
if I check
74.
my
We've
handy
had a lot
pencils.
around that area.
We've had 74, I think.
Okay. You begin to hum and vibrate, and then suddenly, incandescent pink light begins to flare out of your every orifice.
Great!
This is deeply unhelpful.
Okay. Every creature that ends its you shining bright light in a 30-foot radius for the next minute. Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of you is blinded until the end of its next turn.
Shit.
Yeah.
Are we within
Right,
5 feet?
I'm
Not at
going
this
to
point.
move away from people.
Yeah.
If I'm near people, I'm going to
Okay,
move
you
away
move
from
away
them.
from them as this glaringly obvious target.
Oh, God.
Okay,
I'm going to duck under as much cover as I can.
Brandy, who at this point has been mostly ignoring the captain of the other ship, is going to take a shot at that mage now. Brandy is, for once in his goddamn life, I think actually going to hit something. So
Go,
He
Brandy!
hasn't hit anything in this whole fight, like I swear.
no. Okay. However, when he does hit, it counts as he does 12 points of damage.
Nice.
Okay, so she is still up. The mage, she is still up, but
Fuck's sake.
buckles
This
into
one
the
has
blast.
to be dead.
It's actually her go. Yeah, she finally twigs that this whole thing has been an illusion.
Shit.
What did she roll?
She rolled, that would be a 19.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent work tying up the mage. Okay, so that makes it Corzin's go.
Alright. Now, it takes a round to reload the blunderbuss, doesn't it?
Yes, the blunderbuss
Alright.
is a much more unwieldy weapon.
In which case, he's not going to do that. Yep. He is going to bring out both his pistols and attempt to take down the mage.
Okay, go for it. Take your shots.
He is also going to cast Hunter's Mark.
Ooh, nice.
So, first one. That's a 19.
That hits. Roll damage.
Okay. 8 percussive.
She's smacked back against the remains of the mast, but you can see her starting to weave a new spell.
Ah, no.
Interrupt. Okay, that's gonna be an 18.
Oh, interesting. 18. Ah, no. Although she uses her reaction to briefly summon a barrier of defensive force, you go straight through the center of that barrier rather than glancing either side. Roll damage.
Alright, that's 3 plus 4 is 7, and a further D6 for the Hunter's Mark.
Okay, I have to ask, are you shooting to kill or to down?
To down, but what I'm going to be doing actually is I would be willing to bet Corzin has faced. If he hasn't faced mages before, he's been given the training into how to deal with them.
Yeah.
He is going to attempt to either kneecap her or shoot her through the hand, so she can't do the somatic component.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what you do. You shoot out her left hand, and she sinks to the ground, clutching it and screaming. Before by this point, I'm going to say for the sake of atmosphere, yeah, she's screaming on the floor, and one of the Regrets crew members gets close and just musket butts her around the back of the head, and she is out cold.
Okay, and probably down a couple of fingers.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to roll some morale checks.
I didn't even need to roll the extra damage.
You didn't. She was on 1 hit point.
Brilliant. Oh my god, she was on 1? Fuck off.
Yeah.
She took so long to just go down.
Yeah. Okay. She with that looking around the fight, the orcs have now pulled into a tight circle, but the ordinary crew members, they've only been fighting against like a handful of the Regret's crew, but seeing how badly it's gone since the boarding has happened, seeing how the mage has gone down, the orcs are starting to pull in and weaken. The captain of the ship, like this little middle-aged fellow, throws down his gun and puts his hands up. We surrender! We surrender! The orcs are kind of glaring daggers at him. Celestia, do you want to do anything?
I mean, a celebratory sea shanty, I suppose.
Make a performance check.
Oh, that's really fucking good. That would be a 27.
Oh yeah, come on, let's have a bit.
Okay.
What sea shanty would I be doing? Let's have a think. I can't think of any. Help.
At this point, as you're struggling for inspiration, Fighty, who you notice is covered in blood, pulls his shears out of a man's chest and goes, "How about we go for Whiskey Johnny again?"
Yes. Whiskey is the life of man.
Whiskey Johnny!
I drink whiskey where I can.
Whiskey for my Johnny!
Oh.
The crew begin to pick up this celebratory shanty, and at this point, the orcs seem to realise that the fight is over, and they glance over to the older orc, and one by one, slowly begin to lower their weapons to the ground. As this happens, however, the remembers the Regret begin picking up the weapons, like some of them, others pointing them, getting the crew members to kneel down, hands behind their heads.
I'm just singing this whole time with Fighty, like we're like,
Duetting
up by the wheel, duetting. Yeah.
I'm going to ask you actually for I'm going to ask each of you for a perception check, though.
Okay. Oh, I hate all of my dice. Help.
Yeah, I shouldn't have picked that
Oh,
one.
for fuck's
That's a
sake!
1.
That's an 11. That's rubbish.
Oh, I should have used
Corzin?
chaos. Oh well.
What was that? Sorry.
Perception.
Perception is a 15.
Okay. You notice while the celebrations are going on, a couple of the crew members from the Regret, who you actually realise are new hires from Pader's March. They're both human women. They have grabbed hold of a member of the Thorns crew, and like one of them is holding them, and another one has a knife raised. And you can just see them going, like, You think you're so much better than us, you with your fancy merchant ships. Why don't I cut you up a bit and show? And at this point, you hear the
so it's me and Corzin who see this, or do I see it?
Just
I don't
Corzin
Cool.
sees this.
I'm
Corzin,
still singing.
Yeah, you're still singing. Corzin, you hear the gentle click of a flintlock being cocked, and you look to the side and you can see Captain Brandy has his musket levelled at the two crewmen. We're privateers, not pirates. That means we follow the laws of war. So we don't cut up prisoners after they've surrendered. Understood? The two crew members sort of reluctantly let go of the prisoner, and she goes to join the others. Two of you report to First Mate Vig. Brandy gives Vig a significant look. Vig kind of takes the pair of them. Now, Uncle Vig wants to have a word with the pair of you. Come back to the ship.
So fucking mafia.
Uncle Vig has is bleeding in multiple places, but kind of grinning like a shark.
Oh
Pulls the pair of the crewmen off towards the Regret. The crew have mostly all stood down, but the orcs are still standing and kind of glaring at you all. The old orc goes, "Do you have a ship's doctor?"
That would be me.
He looks up. He narrows his eyes at you, having previously had this whole dual musket deal with you. This is my niece. Please, you must stop her bleeding. They are worth ransom. If you spare our lives, we can be ransomed, but you must save her life.
Right, you are then. I hope you got that.
We did.
Love how smug that was. It was so smug.
Yeah.
I can see the shit-eating grin on Corzon's face right now.
Cautiously.
You see the flexing the knuckles.
Yeah, rubbing her hands together. Yeah, all right then.
Now, fortunately, you've actually got a surgeon on your hands, not a medic, because a surgeon can actually save people's life, whereas a medic will just make them more comfortable while they die.
Yeah, we're very impressed. Please get on with it.
I'm gonna just.
Okay, so I go.
I'm gonna be making pointed eye contact with this orc while I'm singing my Steve Shanty, just wiggling at him.
Okay, medicine check.
Medicine check, please.
That's 19.
Okay. Yeah, there's the majority of the damage was from the ball, the massive ball of flame that hit her. But there's it's and then the grape shot you put into her. But you're able to find the points where she's actually bleeding out and desperately sort of suture the wounds that bind her. She's stabilized, not going to lose any.
Scamp
significant
goes
parts
over
of the
to
body.
apologise.
Oh god.
She is mercifully unconscious at this point, but the old orc looks at her over. Yeah, it's a good job. I thank you.
You put up one hell of a fight, mate.
As did you. We surrender. We will not fight you. My name is Arnold von Schmidt. This is my daughter, my niece, Greta. She is a lady of Syria. She is worth. If you return us and our men, and our orcs, and he nods to the other orcs, and our mage, he nods to the halfling, the unconscious halfling with the shattered hand. We are worth, and he lowers his voice and says to you directly, "We are worth a ransom. Our family will pay a ransom of 3,000 gold crowns."
Corzin mulls this over for a moment. Just out of character for a moment. Ossyria, is there standing army mainly orcs? Is that why they're on this ship here?
Yeah,
or are they right?
The majority, the dominant population of particularly the Osirian Isles, as opposed to the Osirian mainland, where the majority of the orcish population lives, is orcish or half orcish. There's been lots of interbreeding with the human population over the centuries,
right.
But they're primarily orcish. Almost all of the aristocracy of Ossyria are orcs as well.
All right.
Make a history check, in fact.
Okay. Natural 20.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
In fact, a number of the higher ranks of the aristocracy, although some of the lower aristocracy as well, have the distinctive blue-grey skin that this particular lady has, which led to the idea of blue bloods as aristocracy, a term which eventually spread to include all the aristocracy of the Jovan continent. But amongst orcs in particular, blue-skinned orcs are the marks of aristocracy.
I love that as canon in this world. That's so nice.
Yeah. Yeah, love it. Okay. I say to him, I'll see that the lot of you are provided for.
Yeah. The members of the...
How many of your men are left?
Looking around, yeah, the ones who... There are 6 of them... there are 6 of them left, excluding... So, yeah, 7 total, including the lady. Including Lady Greta. Unfortunately, 4 of them had either taken too many wounds or were just obliterated by your blunderbuss attack. But yeah, the rest of them have minor injuries or are salvageable despite being knocked out of the fight. The mage will definitely require some surgery on her hand if she's to keep the use of it. But yes, she is also safely out of the fight.
Hard hooks are fashionable these days.
Over the next hour or so, the members of the non-fighting crew as well as the fighting crew of the Regret proceed to plunder the ship out of out of the Fawn. They get everything of value, all of the cargo, which actually turned out to be, for the most part, good Wendish cotton, which while not an exciting good, does fetch good prices in this much quantity. A lot of it died as well.
Can I sit down with my little colouring book and cast Detect Magic?
Okay.
And have a little wander around the ship, because it's 10-minute concentration.
Ooh.
And just have a look around.
Nicely done, yeah. So, using your little colouring book to sketch things out,
Your colouring book is your arcane focus. That is amazing.
It's a ritual spell book.
So good. Magic colouring book.
Yep. You spend the time.
Because I can't write properly, so I've mixed up a whole bunch of pictures and words from various languages.
I'm picturing when children do little scribbles, like it's a book, and they pretend to read it when they're 3. That's what I'm picturing right now. You're very intently reading it, but if you look over your shoulder, it's just bullshit crayon smears.
Okay.
Pretty much.
So nice.
You find. I'm going to ask you for an investigation check because there is a certain amount of nook and crannying to look as well.
I can see through a foot of stone, an inch of metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
Cool. Yeah, that's the limits.
It sort of lights up. Oh, that's terrible. That's I think it's probably a 10.
Okay.
Let me just get that page open.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 10.
Okay.
Oh, I can use Tides of Chaos. Too late. It's too late.
Yeah, you need to just clear it beforehand. Okay, so the first thing that's magical that you find is the small sword belonging to Greta von Schmidt.
I feel like a dick taking that.
Well,
I guess we're taking their weapons.
You are definitely taking their weapons anyway, so... she also has a couple of quite nice pistols of the improved variety that you guys have been using of late as well, and some very nice holsters. You also find, hidden in a small cache, going to roll for this, 2 healing potions that someone had stashed away and had presumably died during the initial cannon exchange before they could go to retrieve them. So you managed to take those before the other looters find them.
Right, I don't have one of those, so I'm keeping one of them for myself. Who would like the other?
I've got one.
I'll take it.
Excellent.
Yeah. It definitely makes sense for you to have it because you're the medic. So, yeah.
Are they just regular?
Just regular. Okay. After loading up the various plunders, Brandy kind of looks over and says, "Right, now then. You, her ladyship and her guard, you will be making... we'll be making you comfortable in our brig, and we will be making you as comfortable as possible. No, you'll not come to any harm on our trip, under our watch. At least so long as that ransom is eventually forthcoming. Now, the rest of you, fine ladies and gentlemen," he says, turning to the crew of the Fawn, "are in luck. We are, after all, due to appropriately deal with members of the crew. We are appropriately dealing with prisoners. So we will, and anyone who does not appropriately deal with prisoners will be appropriately dealt with. you hear 2 gunshots ring from the Regret, followed by 2 splashes in the water, and V sauntering back onto deck.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Celestia abruptly stops playing guitar.
That said, however, we've no desire to ferry all of you back to shore. So, we will be loading you into your longboats with 3 days of water and rations. And it'll be up to your rowing arms to see how far that'll take you. It'll get you to shore. Past that, you're on your own.
Holy fuck.
They load. They load the captain of the Fawn and his surviving crew onto the longboats of this ship, and leave
Is
them.
Is the Fawn itself beyond repair?
I mean, it's fucked, isn't it?
It's pretty fucked, but it's still floating. That's the thing.
Yeah. Can I go find Brandy?
Easily enough.
With my little colouring book.
Yeah, Brandy and V are looking over the ship, kind of like, yes, if we could get the mast back up, perhaps we could get it as far as...
Captain.
Ah, young Scamp, good job fighting back there.
I learned a new trick. Can I try it? It takes 10 minutes, but I might be able to fix something.
Hey, it beats 3 days in dry dock. Go for it. What do you need us to do?
Don't know. Not done this before.
Okay. I mean, unless you can fix a mast, you might be out of luck there. But
I might be able to. How badly broken is it?
There's quite a few breaks, but the big break is towards the base of the mast where a cannonball went through it. That said, it is about 5 foot wide. If you could get the mast back onto it.
If you could just sort of line it up, I might be able to.
Yeah, we'd need a load of men to actually hold it in position, but
All
doable.
right. Lads, get the ropes. We've got a bit more heavy lifting to do.
This is going to take really long, I'm sorry.
It takes
Can
them
I
an hour.
assist them with
Yeah,
this?
it takes them an hour to get the mast into place, but once
I'll do some practicing on some smaller damaged things while that happens.
it takes a bit of practice, which is for the best, but by the time they've got the mast in place, you set up your impromptu ritual setup around the shattered pieces of mast. Like, as much of the original mast that they can get is placed in place, as well as just bits of wood that they can find to fill up the gaps.
I cast Improved Mending.
Okay, you spend 10 minutes walking around it, kind of touching the wood in various places, doing a slightly improved version of things. Friend, who has been relatively quiet during this, goes like, I mean, I can do some heavy lifting for you if you want. If you...
It's very heavy lifting.
Well, I mean, I can get pieces of wood for you. Help you move
Please.
things. So yeah, Friend helps adjust pieces of wood so they're in the right places. To everyone else, it looks like you're just moving it with magic. And as the ritual completes, the wood seems to almost liquefy for a moment and then meld back together. It's not a perfect repair. There are still some obvious breaks and gaps, but it's seaworthy.
Get in.
Well, that now makes a difference. I mean, I don't think this is cost us a fair bit to outfit it with cannon, but that is...
Well, it already has some cannon.
Well, that's true, but...
Well, we broke most of them.
I'd say that is seaworthy enough for us to get it to port and sell it, though. And that is not an inconsiderable sum.
I can do some more repairs on the way as well.
You're very welcome to do that, lad. Right!
Sure.
He looks round to the others. We've taken some losses. Lads, lasses. Corzin will do what he can for all of you. But I want you to know. Every man Jack, every woman Jill. You fought your hardest. Some of us didn't make it. But those of us that did, we bloody well showed him what for. There's a cheer that goes up as many anticipate a goodly deal of spending money to come.
Yeah.
Scamp is gonna fruitlessly attempt a mending spell on a hurt or a dead person.
Oh god!
Just because I feel like I have to try.
You knit together the corpse.
Oh, that's grim. Oh.
I'm gonna...
Okay.
Do I see this happening?
Yeah.
It takes 10 minutes.
I'm gonna go over and be like, Scamp, I think that might be for things, not
I know,
people.
And as it is now a thing,
like
you are able to repair the corpse.
I know, darling, but
I had to try.
I think it's just going to be worse to watch my body go together, sweetie.
Yeah. I feel a bit sick. I'm going to go throw up.
Okay.
And with that, as Scamp is violently throwing up over the edge, the loot is taken onto the Regret. A skeleton crew is set to running the Fawn, and both ships make slow progress as they inch their way on towards Crosswater.
Celestia spends the night alternating between songs of won battles and songs of lost crew members. Yeah. She's the evening's post-battle entertainment.
Excellent.
And probably, ship travelling a bit slower. Sometime around the 26th, the falling leaves, the ship makes its way into the Viridian Bay and into the city of Crosswater. And that, gentle listeners, is where we'll pick up next time. Thank you all very much for listening, and farewell from all of us here at Flintlocks and Fireballs. Fair seas and natural 20s.
I'll need more luck than games of chance to save her from the saber's dance.
Get ready, lads, it's do or die when cannons roar and fireballs fly. So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.